From Houchin-Smith Stadium in Bowling Green, Kentucky. It's a Conference USA showdown between the FIU Panthers and the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky. First-year coach Mike McIntyre for the Panthers, a guy who's built several programs in the past, charged with doing so here. He has his Panthers at 1-1, coming off a loss to Texas State. Meantime, the other sideline, the host, Tyson Helton, in his fourth season at Western Kentucky with a record of 25-17. Keys to the game brought to you by Pedigree, Randy Cross.
Yeah, for Florida International, get the head of the snake. That means, hey, you got to go get their quarterback. And with the offense, start with the basics. That's running the ball and doing things the right way. They haven't run it well. Spread them out if you're Western Kentucky on the offensive side, and then run. And for their defense, you spill that run to the outside, then you challenge the quarterback.
A beautiful Saturday afternoon. Temperatures actually around 82 degrees here. Clear skies after a little rain in the morning. But a gorgeous afternoon in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Chick Hernandez, Randy Cross coming to you on Fikes Field here at Houchin-Smith Stadium. Braden Narveson set the kickoff for Western Kentucky. We had a little momentary lapse there as FIU didn't have 11 on the kickoff. Back for FIU is E.J. Wilson. They'll take it too deep in his own end zone. He's going to bring it out. Gets out to the 14-yard line. So a positive play for Western Kentucky. As we take a look at the quarterback for FIU, Grayson James. His second career started last week.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if maybe he ran a little bit today just to kind of keep the chains moving, get things more interesting. I think that's one thing this offense really needs, and it's kind of an all-hands-on-deck situation for their offense. Somebody's got to help.
Well, there are a ton of guys in the backfield for FIU. And James will keep it himself and gets walloped by Talik Allen right out of the gate. As you take a look at the lineups this afternoon. Allen on the tackle, and for the offense, we look at Sam Hill right there in big box to center. Tyrese Chambers, one of the top receivers in Conference USA.
He is a big play waiting to happen. The question is going to be against this Western Kentucky defense. Will he have enough time to throw it?
2nd and 10 for the Panthers. Up to the 18-yard line. And you take a look at the defensive lineups now for Western Kentucky. Juwan Jones is a man. And they called Derek Smith, the linebacker, a freak of nature. And Upton Stout there in that secondary, already with a pick 6 this season.
Smith is a linebacker that can cover like a safety.
3rd down now and 6.
I'd go after the left tackle. He had a replacement there. The helmet came off, so you have a fresh left tackle. Go after that spot if you want to get some pressure on the quarterback.
Smart lineman move there from Randy Cross. 3rd and 6. First 3rd down of the day for the Panthers. Up top, looking for Chambers. That ball's knocked away. And the defense from Upton Stout. So it'll be 4th down for FIU. Another look.
Well, they brought the heat. They affected the quarterback a little bit, but he delivered that ball. I mean, that's kind of surprising, because that's a Florida International receiver right there that normally catches the ball and is a huge big play threat.
So a 4th down. On to punt for FIU.
A unique formation here with the fun bunch over to the left.
The old Washington days. The fun bunch. This one away. From his own 40, he's going to let that ball bounce, and it bounces in the direction for FIU. And so Western, little action on the field. Separation. And so Western Kentucky will take over just outside their 30-yard line. Austin Reed, a quarterback for Western Kentucky. We met with this young man yesterday, and he comes in with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, he is. It's that kind of swagger theory at quarterback. He's taken over this program from the guy, Bailey Zappi, who set all world records for offense and everything else, and he's done a heck of a job so far as the replacement.
They'll start from just outside their 30. And a quick give to Kai Robichaux, who had a big game last time out. A career high 135. And you take a look at the offensive lineup there for the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky.
Austin Reed, the quarterback's got a great relationship with that offensive line up there in front of him. They take good care of him. They take really good care of the running backs. It's a fine group up front for the Hilltoppers.
Second down, and Reed looks left. Michael Matheson on the catch. Gain of 3. As you take a look at the lineups for FIU on the defensive side of the ball. This is a very, very young defense.
Very young. A lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores, and they will see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hand very quickly. You notice that last play, that snap had barely hit in Reed's hands, and it was already out to the receiver.
So FIU is missing 2 starters, and Sean Peterson and Davon Strickland, who were injured, did not make the trip today. 3rd and 7. Reed, left side. Matheson on the catch.
Like the chances of him going for it here. Not sure what the book says, but this situation on the field, now they're going to punt it.
The book, the trusty analytics book that coaches love and hate all at the same time.
Well, the good thing for the coach is you can blame the book.
Look at Tyson Helton, head coach in his 4th season. So Tyrese Chambers is back, standing at his own 23-yard line. That ball bounces in Western Kentucky's favor. And that'll be out of bounds just outside the 25-yard line. We here at CBS Sports Network remember the passing of FIU linebacker Luke Knox. Knox passed away this past August 17th. Luke was about to begin his first season at FIU after 4 years at Ole Miss. We extend our deepest sympathies to the Knox family. Luke Knox was 22 years old. Back here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, early goings as the Hilltoppers hosting the Panthers of FIU, a Conference USA opener for both Chick Hernandez and the 3-time Super Bowl champion Randy Cross. Listen, if you're going to watch this game, you do not go and get a drink, because if you get a drink, you might miss a play or 5.
Well, you already saw that. 1 possession each. They are moving with alacrity. They are moving all over the field and doing it quickly. Both times, though, it has resulted in a punt.
But now, with my Maryland education, I'm going to go look up alacrity, and I'll be back with you in a minute.
Let the Google machine tell you.
The Google machine. All right, so 1st and 10 for FIU. A little dump pass over the 22-yard line. There's a Grayson James with a completion. Broderick Martin, the big fella, on the tackle.
That's something you're going to have to see against this defense. The offense has to get the ball out of the quarterback's hand and do it quickly.
Would you call this a laces game? No time?
Oh, no, laces. If you're a quarterback that when the ball snapped to you, you got to have the laces to throw. You're in the wrong offense if you're playing for FIU. That thing hits your hands. You got to be ready to spin that sucker out.
2nd and 8. Grayson James. Once again, that's a quick sling to the left side. Jalen Bracey on the catch, the junior out of Jackson, Mississippi.
But that's something that this defense, Tyson Summers, their defense coordinator, is very proud of their tackling. They tackle every single day. They find a way to practice tackling. You'll see they're extremely good at it. And with these spread offenses like this, you better be good at tackling, because you miss that first guy, it's going to be gone.
That was with an accent. I heard that. Gone?
Gone.
All right. Lexington Joseph in the backfield.
G-A-W-N. Gone.
3rd and 7 for the Panthers. James again. Quick hitch up the left side to the 38-yard line. Jaquez Evans on the tackle, and Josiah Meeman, the tight end, big fella.
How about Meeman going and initiating a little contact there over the middle. Nice play design with that quick little under screen. Meeman was lined up on the outside in the slot as a tight end, came all the way across underneath.
6'4", 245 is Meeman. Some long legs.
That's about full grown for a tight end.
They like him. 1st and 10. James under pressure and just pitches out. That'll be an incomplete pass, but the pressure put on by Broderick Martin, the 5th-year senior out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Nice job, though. If there's nothing there, find a way. It doesn't have to be pretty. Get it out of bounds. Get it out of your hand. Live to play another down without giving up any yards.
Jaquez Evans lost his helmet, so he has to come out for a play. It's 2nd and 10 for FIU.
So far, Grayson James doing a pretty nice job of kind of keeping his cool at quarterback for FIU.
Getting his 2nd career start. You're just joining us. The season starter Gunnar Holmberg is dressed today, but he's got a shoulder injury, so he is the 3rd quarterback as James picks it up and then gets down just inside the 50-yard line for Grayson James, who will run at 6'3", 235. Caleb Oliver, Upton Stout on the tackle.
There's a little bit of the missing link in this offense, is running out of that quarterback position, and Grayson James getting a chance to duck in there, makes a couple people miss, makes it look good.
So James very steady early on.
You're going to have to run, especially between the tackles, with that hesitation type handoff. There'll be some holes in there.
James straight drop again. Looking up the right side. And looking for Chris Mitchell. That's incomplete.
Well, speaking of looking there, he was looking at a pass rush coming right into his kitchen. And he had to get rid of that ball a little more calm. I think he would have been able to deliver that, but I think he had to rush a little bit, and that's why it was so high.
5 passes, 1 run on this drive for FIU. As they'll look to the sideline and get the play call.
Keep an eye on the linebacker, Smith, number 24. He's kind of in the bubble, running out now to cover on the slot. That's what he can do as a linebacker. Not many linebackers are asked to cover slot receivers.
That's the give, right side. And that's Kai Robichaux. Excuse me, Lexington Joseph on the carry, the junior out of Miami, Florida.
Well, now you're in the plus territory, so Florida International here looking at, basically 3rd and 5. You've probably got 2 plays to get this first down. You would imagine they would go ahead and go for it. Their offensive coordinator, David Yost, very, very aggressive when it comes to play calling.
What do you tell us this week? If we're in 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8, get me 4.
Yeah, get me 4 or 5, we'll go for it.
Yep. Well, they got 3rd and 5 right now with 7:39 to go here in this first quarter of play. FIU on the other side of this field, and they're going to call timeout. So a little confusion from FIU. And Grayson James takes a timeout. Early going here from Bowling Green, Kentucky. A scoreless game so far, but the Panthers on the move.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by the Home Depot. How doers get more done. By Ram Trucks. Built to serve. And by Geico. Save even more when you bundle home and car insurance.
Butch Davis, the last coach, Mike McIntyre now in year 1 at FIU, has done some wonderful things in his coaching career, leading Colorado back from the depths as well as San Jose State.
Yeah, that San Jose State job he did was nothing short of amazing. That's why he got that Colorado job, for the job he did with the Spartans.
2016 consensus National Coach of the Year. His team facing a 3rd and 5. The left side. Lexington Joseph can't find his way to that first down marker. Now decision time for McIntyre and crew.
Like you said, 3rd and 5. If you get a couple, you're probably going for it. Honestly, in the plus territory, even with all that penetration, you're probably still going to try and go for it.
Jaquez Evans on the stop.
Nope, going to punt.
And they're going to punt.
I'd be alert on fake at some point.
Dayton Montiel, the punter for FIU, and that one's going to bounce just inside and then bang on the 5-yard line. So good special teams play from FIU. The Hilltoppers will start from their own 6-yard line. 94 yards in a cloud of dust coming up on the CBS Sports Network. Scoreless game here with 6:42 to go in this first quarter of play from Western Kentucky. Get the latest NFL highlights, insights, and predictions all before the Week 3 game time action. Watch that other pregame show tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock Eastern on CBS Sports Network. Randy Cross, Chick Hernandez back here. Malachi Corley, who's been just a thorn in defensive side. Yes, catching the ball, but after the catch, been really difficult.
He is strong. I'm talking about unnaturally strong for a guy his size.
Leads the team with 17 catches. So far, 0 today here in the early going.
Lined up top of the screen in the slot.
And they go with a spread offense here for Western Kentucky. And that's a give right up the middle. Kai Robichaux on the carry. As I mentioned, big game last week. 135 yards, career high. Came in as a walk-on last year.
I don't think Western Kentucky will be hesitant to staying devoted to Robichaux in this running game. They want to really start developing the running game, and it'll only make Austin Reed, their quarterback, better the better they can run.
2nd and 7. Reed, straight drop. Across the middle. No flag. That one intended for Michael Matheson and Brian Blades. Perfect timing.
Yes, very, very perfect timing. Especially in slow motion. When you see it in slow motion and it's a bang-bang play, that is a bang-bang play. That is excellent defense. That's a family name, huh?
Yeah,
Blades?
I was going to say Blades, yep. His dad, Brian Blades, played 11 years in Seattle. Pro Bowl player. His uncles Al and Benny also were NFL cornerbacks, so he comes by it honestly. I'm sure they're proud to watch him today with that play. 3rd and 7 now for Reed out of the gun. Right side. Is it a catch? It is. He held on to the ball. What a play from Dawood Davis. Caught it, fumbled it, got it back. Adrian Cole on the stop.
Those were some good catches. First one and the second one.
You get 2 there. Up the middle is Robichaux and churning his way. We'll call him up at the 24-yard line. Robichaux, the coaches love him. Take one more look at the catch here, Randy.
One more time. There's 1. There's 2. Almost 3 in that whole occurrence.
Quick shot left side. There's Malachi Corley. First guy misses. Second guy misses. Across the 50. Flag in the play. He's free. Bye-bye. Malachi Corley off to the races. As I said before the break, 94 yards in a cloud of dust for Western Kentucky.
Was that flag on a block on the sideline?
We're going to find out here. Referee is Rory Burmard. You've got a flag and a hat on the field.
Well, the hat usually means out of bounds.
Well, they're going to take a look. 76 yards.
Now, did you step
for Malachi Corley?
Did you step out of bounds before you caught it? And then the flag is for an illegal receiver catching the ball because he went out of bounds.
Well, let's hear from Rory Burmard after a quick conference, or not so quick.
Western Kentucky's all ready to kick their extra point.
Yeah, Braden Arvison's on, ready to go. The coaching staff for Western Kentucky pointed in FIU's direction. So this may be a mere formality, but how about that? We talked about it. Malachi Corley makes that first guy miss, and it's off to the races.
What really sets him apart, we talked about his strength. You saw him shrug off 2 tacklers, especially that first one. But his acceleration, that 0 to 60 that he has from the jump, that's elite type speed, or at least elite type quickness.
He's on the conference watch list, and you can see why. If it's good, this will be his 4th touchdown of the season.
Well, they're not coming anywhere near back, so you got to figure it's going to stay as a touchdown for Western.
I think they've straightened things out here. No, we're going to have one more conversation. Come back here for a second. All right, Rory Burmard down. Yep, there's a conversation going on with Tyson Helton now on the sideline. But the move by Malachi Corley has been so good. We saw him in the first game against Austin Peay. We talked about his power, knocked the guy's helmet off, and this time just ran right through that tackle.
Really curious what this discussion is about. Is there going to be a penalty that'll be on the kickoff after something? I mean, I don't know what's going on.
Well, Tyson Helton's actually smiling while talking to the referees.
That's not usual.
There are 2 fouls on the play, one against each team. Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 29. Sideline interference on Western Kentucky for running into a coach. Those fouls offset. Result of the play is a touchdown.
Well, Jamal Potts gets called for the face mask for FIU, and then you run into a coach on the sideline. So where's the get back coach? As Narveson now on for the extra point. Braden Narveson up and good. And so Western Kentucky off to a 7-0 lead after a 76-yard strike. Another look here, Randy.
Now watch the sideline. The face mask will be easy to see. That's right there. That's the face mask. And that's where the coach gets run into right there, back about the 35-yard line. So that white area on the far sideline or on the sidelines, that's where the coaches, they wander in there, but they're supposed to stay out of the way. Rarely happens. That's why they have what you referred to earlier as get back coaches, whose job is to grab them from behind and get them back.
Another look from the wide shot.
Face mask.
And Austin Reed, a little dapping up with Malachi Corley. A little dance. That is Corley's longest career reception, 76 yards for the touchdown. I'm guessing on film on Sunday, that assistant coach will get a little razzing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm all for that, though. We see way too much of that these days, of coaches wandering out on the field or standing right on the edge and being in danger of interfering with play.
Corey Munson on the kick, and that'll be a touchback for FIU, and they will start from their 25.
Anytime you can get the ball in your 25, take it. Do not return it from out of the end zone. I really don't think. They tried it the first time and ended up on the 14.
Unless you got a guy like Deion Sanders back there returning. You know a thing or two about that. But we don't have Deion Sanders here.
No, he's doing a great job with Jackson State.
Grayson James, that quarterback, mentioned it. Gunnar Holmberg started the season for FIU, had a concussion, then some shoulder issues. He's the third quarterback now. He's dressed. But it'll be Grayson James, the starter, and Hayden Carlston, the redshirt freshman, is your number 2 quarterback. And James will keep it himself, and not a whole lot of room there. He may have had 2. And there's Holmberg, Gunnar Holmberg, who on the season 14 of 20. 103 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions for Gunnar Holmberg, the graduate from Wake Forest.
He cleared all the procedures from the concussion, so it's that shoulder keeping him out of play.
He's got that uniform on. 2nd and 8 now for James. That's E.J. Wilson, the left side. And just short of the first down marker of 3rd and 2. CBS Sports celebrates Hispanic Heritage Month. Right here on the CBS Sports Network. Said one Mr. Hernandez. 3rd and 2, 4:20 to go here in this first quarter of play for FIU. Lexington Joseph in the backfield. Excuse me, E.J. Wilson in the backfield now for FIU, the sophomore out of Tampa, Florida. Wilson with 1 carry, 6 yards, 3rd and 2, and he gets the ball. That defense stood up tall. That's Jaquez Evans with a big stop on 3rd down.
Yeah, how about that defense? You're heavily loaded left. They go to run inside to the right side. Jaquez Evans just crashes down from that side that was underloaded weren't as many offensive players on that side. No one to block him. He just crashed right in there for that tackle.
So FIU now 1 for 5 on 3rd down. And they will punt. Dayton Montiel will punt. And Talik Evans back. Talik Allen back for Western Kentucky at his own 25-yard line. He calls the fair catch. He'll do so just outside his own 15-yard line. And it'll be Hilltoppers ball. Trying to go back-to-back drives to score. Western Kentucky with a 7-0 lead from Bowling Green, Kentucky on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. All on CBS Sports Network, presented by the Home Depot. And the band played on here at Western Kentucky. They hit the right notes on that last drive, did Western Kentucky. 76 yards, Austin Reed to Malachi Corley. And you have to figure more of the same.
Any notes that involve 11 are going to hit just sweet and pure.
Well, this is a very young FIU team, 3rd youngest football team in the FBS. What did the defensive coordinator say to us this week? I was told after our first game that my secondary, that was their first start in a college football game. Up the gut, and there goes Western Kentucky up to the 35-yard line. And Joe Perkins on the tackle, but a big run from Kai Robichaux.
Here's some of that alacrity. Here's some of that pace.
Robichaux picks his way left side. He'll get to the 39-yard line. One more look at Robichaux.
Watch this hole open up inside. Nice job by that backside tight end coming in late and just effectively just trapping himself a linebacker to set up Robichaux for that run.
2nd and 4. This is what an offense wants. 2nd and short. Quick sling left. And they'll give the first down.
Well, for Ben Arbuckle, the offensive coordinator, you getting 2nd and short like that, that's a free play.
Jalen Hall on the catch, no question. That's what you want. It's a prime opportunity. Hall on the catch.
There's Arbuckle. He's very animated.
Sat down with him yesterday.
Self-proclaimed really good golfer.
How many reallys? Scratch. But he loves his football. 1st and 10. 2 minutes to go here in this first quarter. Boy, that arm slinging up to Malachi Corley again. First guy misses. 2nd guy. 3rd guy. And Corley inside to the 27-yard line. That's just a tough guy to bring down. Henry Gray finally does.
I guarantee you one thing. After seeing this kid now for, a little bit more than a game, if you don't have immediate help, you are not tackling him by yourself. I don't care how big you are as a cornerback.
Another first down for Western Kentucky, or as they say here in this part, Western. 1:30 to go, first quarter. From the 28, Reed. That's Robichaux up the middle. Breaks 1, breaks 2. Down inside the 10-yard line to the 7. And Kai Robichaux is putting on a show right now.
Yeah, rusty stats. Quantavious, Leslie, Good, Murphy, Britton. That offensive line up front right now is gutting the Florida International front 7. And the way they spread out, I mean, we've seen all these exotic formations. Think of yourself on the defensive side. I mean, their coordinator, Javon DeWitt, was talking about that. They spread you sideline to sideline. There's not a whole lot of help inside once you miss a tackle.
1st and 8, 1st and goal. And that's Robichaux. He'll get stopped just inside the 10-yard line. And Gaithan Bernadelle on the tackle for the Panthers.
And that's a good answer to that inside run. You've got to basically stunt and blitz into it. And you'll run into it. You'll disrupt it.
Robichaux with 7 carries for 52 yards here in this first quarter of play.
Javon DeWitt talked about some of the coaches in the past that have influenced him. He mentioned an old name I'm familiar with, Jerry Glanville. Former cohort on the NFL Today, and also one heck of a coach with the Atlanta Falcons and the Houston Oilers.
2nd and 9, final play of the first quarter. Naked backfield. Reed got a man. Touchdown, Western Kentucky. And that's the big tight end, Joey Beljan, on the catch and the score. That's his second touchdown of the season, and Austin Reed is dialing and dealing.
Yep, he is, and he's playing hot potato pretty good right now because that potato didn't spend much time in his hands. It hits his hands, and it is coming out, and it's coming out accurate. Beljan in the back of the end zone, put it up there high where he can get it. How do you stop that anyway? I know I'm supposed to know that answer, but I don't know how you stop that.
It's the question being asked in the coach's booth right now on the FIU sidelines as well. Narbison on for the extra point, and that one is good, and it's a 14-0 Hilltopper lead. Joey Beljan, by the way, 6'3", 250. Add a little vertical to that, very tough to stop. And Austin Reed, for him, that's a mighty big target.
Yeah, he and Joshua Simon, the two tight ends, about the same size, offer the same kind of targets. And you know what? Probably get the same result.
Austin Reed, 5 straight passes caught. It's a 14-0 lead.
242424.
Back here in Bowling Green, 7-play, 84-yard drive for Western Kentucky. They lead FIU 14-0. Austin Reed is who we thought he was.
Yes, he is, and he is a delight to watch. That ball comes out of his hands. He's got accuracy, and he's got a couple of pretty good weapons, too.
We sat down with him yesterday, and he just sat there, and you could see the oozing in confidence. This is the guy who came from Division II West Florida, where he won a national title, which is saying something.
As a freshman, right? Or as a redshirt freshman.
2019. And then comes to Tyson Helton, the head coach at Western Kentucky, says, all I want is a chance. Give me the opportunity. I'll win the job.
Yeah, just let me compete.
This is what he did at West Florida. And that's a heck of a schedule, by the way. It started on September 5th. And they come back into the playoffs and win 5 straight games at Division II to win the national championship. That's a grueling schedule. He said he got a ring. It's with the parents. Corey Munson on the kick. And that's Lexington Joseph on the return. He gets up to the 22-yard line. All right, for an update on Clemson, Wake Forest, let's go to our studios and Brett Stover.
Check in double overtime. Wake Forest, one final chance to stun Clemson on 4th down. Sam Hartman's pass incomplete, and the Demon Deacons suffer their 63rd straight loss to top 10 teams, guys.
Thank you, Brent. A wild one, yeah.
Oh, you think?
It's a little different story here right now at 14-0. But that must
both quarterbacks, Hartman and Uyunglele, are lighting it up.
Well done on the name, by the way. 1st and 10 here for FIU, looking to get on the board. Grayson James, a little straight drop, gets some pressure, and gets taken down. And so the offense a little stagnant there. Mike Allen, the defensive tackle, the 5th-year senior out of Sugar Hill, Georgia, on the stop.
Well, better to do that, tuck it and eat it and get a 1-yard gain or something than to put it somewhere it doesn't belong.
Oh, quick snap. James wasn't ready for it. That ball's on the ground, and he falls on it. He clearly was not ready for that snap, but it was, as John Bach thought he heard the call.
Yeah, there's offenses moving quickly, and there's centers moving quickly. That was a center moving quickly because the rest of the offense wasn't quite as ready as Bach was. He just snapped that ball. Lucky for them, it hit the quarterback.
Now they got 3rd and 18. Just 1 3rd down conversion so far for FIU, 1 for 4. Joseph in the backfield with James.
I mean, you'd love a 1st down, but push it out past the 20.
And Joseph gets the carry on the right side. He's not going to get it. And brought down by Davion Williams.
Well, I'll tell you what, this defense for Western Kentucky, they mean business. That's called just grabbing the jersey. That was not a horse collar. That wasn't grabbing the inside of the pad or part of the helmet or anything else. He just grabbed his jersey and snatched him.
Well, that's the freak, Derek Smith, by the way, helping on that tackle. The guy gets all over this field.
The linebacker that runs like a safety.
So Montiel will punt. And Talik Allen back for Western Kentucky. That'll bounce out of bounds. We'll see where the ref calls it.
Should be about the 32.5 or so, 33.
Good call by Randy Cross. He's done this before. And so Western Kentucky will take over on their own 32.5-yard line.
It's one thing about you play a team like Western Kentucky, if you're FIU and your offense isn't staying on the field, man, I tell you what, your defense is just going to be constantly pressured. I mean, constantly. The kind of pressure that busts pipes and stuff like that. I mean, it's can be very severe because it's not like Western Kentucky is going to stop attacking.
That's the third 3-and-out on 4 possessions for FIU. Quickly again, Reed, right side. David Davis. We get over the 35-yard line as Adrian Cole, a sophomore from Plantation, Florida, makes the tackle.
Got a pretty decent block out there in front of Davis by Corley, 11, who promptly comes off the field.
And Austin Reed now 7 of 8 on the afternoon, so he's been near perfect. 2nd and 9 for the Toppers. He looks to the sideline for Ben Arbuckle and the offensive call.
Those two are in sync, man. They are on the same page, the coordinator and the quarterback.
3 on the play clock. Ball drops. Reed, right side. He's got Robichaux. Robichaux's got some room. Steps to the tackle and gets out of bounds.
When you talk about quarterbacks being able to throw from different platforms, how about a platform where the ball gets on the ground, basically? You pick it up off the ground, but it never gets any higher than about 3 feet off the ground because you kind of underscoop it. Look like Kent Tekulve for an old reference.
A fumble snap, and now Reed going deep. Looking for David Davis, and that one's incomplete. So 2 bad snaps, by the way, in a row. The first one, Reed made it work. This time, he got it back and threw the deep ball.
Yeah, and that's really surprising because Rusty Stats is one of their more reliable players and linemen.
I'll apologize to Stats. That first snap was okay. It was dropped by Reed.
Roommates, by the way. So they will discuss that at one point.
Josh Simon made that a positive play. Now 2nd and 10. Robichaux up the middle and churning to the 32-yard line. A little extra curricular activity and a flag is thrown.
A little extra through. That's going to be some unnecessary roughness, I believe. And it's going to go against Florida International.
Jordan Garrod on the stop of Robichaux.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 0. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
So Dorian Hall, the 6-year senior out of Hollywood, Florida, gets called for the penalty, and that's going to move that ball deep into Panther territory.
Playing that hybrid bandit position in this Florida International defense. 6'4", 190 pounds. And you can't be too aggressive.
He was working against Joshua Simon, who's 6'4", 235, and Simon comes away with the victory on that one. 11:30 to go here in this first half, and the Hilltoppers driving. Reed, straight drop to the 15-yard line. Jalen Hall on the catch. Simple play, and Reed just kind of picking his way down the field.
Well, he knows what he's looking at. That's one of the things you really have to say about this offense and this particular quarterback. When he sees the defense, he is like sharing a brain. Ben Arbuckle, the offensive coordinator, stands on the sideline, and they constantly kind of have eye contact between each other. And they're thinking exactly the same thing. And that's what you want with your quarterback and your coordinator.
2nd and 8 from the 25. Reed, little play action. Trying to go to the end zone. Takes a step and throws out of bounds. Just a throwaway ball there. Smart play from Austin Reed. Just his 2nd incompletion of this first half.
Last week against Indiana, he had one play, Reed did, that was kind of one of those, you know, Coach Helton, Tyson Helton was telling us that was a bad play. That one pass in the red zone, bang, it was an interception. He put it where it didn't belong. That would have been a good opportunity in the red zone again to put it where it didn't belong, and he didn't do it.
So lesson learned from Austin Reed as FIU makes some late substitutions. 3rd and 8. 5 seconds on the play clock, and a flag is thrown. A little illegal motion
False
from
start. Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Quantavious Leslie.
They call him
flinch.
Flinch. A flinch from the man they call Tick.
I guess you can say it was a little tick.
With a little tick.
Yeah. Well, no, he's not a little tick.
No, he's not. No, it's 6'3", 310. That's a big tick. That sucks a lot of blood out of you. I'd love to know how Quantavious went to Tick. But I'm happy as a play-by-play guy to call him Tick. All right, 3rd and 13 now. From the 20, Reed. Little pump. Malachi Corley. Back of the end zone. Perfect catch. Referee looking for their possession. Touchdown. The ref had to make sure, and Malachi Corley with his 2nd score of the afternoon. Perfect throw and catch from Reed to Corley.
Well, the first one Corley caught, he broke 2 tackles, broke down the sideline, got himself a touchdown. How about that throw? Accurate much? Right over the top. And then the fun part starts. That's Malachi Corley getting that ball in there. He possessed it, the feet were in, and the gunslinger got himself another touchdown.
Austin Reed, Malachi Corley are roommates. So when they go back, they talk football, but a whole lot more. Today should be a lot of fun when they go back to the room, provided this continues. And Corley, 3 catches, 123 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
That's also known as a good start.
Okay. Braden Narbison on for the extra point. Kick is up and through and good. And it's Western Kentucky on top of the hill right now. 21-0. Perfect throw from Austin Reed. Even a better catch from Malachi Corley. He's going to hold on. Give me the score. He got it. Back here in Western Kentucky, 21-0 lead for the hometown team, back home for the first time since August 27th and that season opener. Let's take a look at the AP Top 10 powered by Ram Trucks and Randy Cross, Georgia on your mind.
Yeah, they got a little challenge out of the Kent State Flashes. That was fun to watch. Michigan got more than they probably anticipated from Maryland, too. And
Maryland?
How about Clemson in overtime? Double overtime.
Double overtime.
Taking out Wake Forest.
Wow.
That was a stat fest.
Yeah. You think? Our statistician, Jay, if he'd been doing that game, he'd be fire on his fingertips right now. Corey Munson now on to kick for the Hilltoppers. E.J. Wilson back for FIU from his own 5. Up to the 20, and then just gets waylaid. A flag on the play.
The first flag is illegal formation. Western Kentucky only had 3 players on this near side. You have to have at least 4 on each side.
Well, Derek Smith laid the lumber as the referees will sort this one out. And so take a look. Referee Rory Bernard for the discussion here. 21-0. It's been all Western Kentucky so far. FIU without 2 of their starters on the defensive side of the ball. A very young unit, and it is showing right now because Ben Arbuckle and company are throwing not quite the kitchen sink at FIU, but enough.
They're throwing bombs, what they're throwing. And FIU right now is catching them.
There are 2 fouls in the play, 1 against each team. Illegal formation on the kicking team. Less than 4 players on one side of the kicker. Holding, return team, number 17. Those fouls offset. Replay the kick.
So we're going to re-kick this one.
It's really pretty simple. As soon as you look down there, if you know that one rule, that you have to have at least 4 players on each side. See, look at the bottom of the screen here. Only 3 at the bottom of the screen on this side of the kickoff. That flag comes out immediately.
Another one of those great moments in the film session come Sunday.
And Tyson Helton, the head coach for Western Kentucky, he says, I'm kind of the special teams guru. I coached it at a lot of levels. Coached it at the pro level, coached it at the college level. I'm the special teams guy. The special teams guy will have something to say about that.
Yeah, that film session won't be, again, pleasant. He'll let them know. So Corey Munson will re-kick this one from his 35-yard line. 10:30 to go here in this first half. And Lexington Joseph will let this one go in for a touchback. They'll start from the 25. Let's go to New York in our studio for an update with Brent Stover.
Guys, Chase Cunningham going to hit DJ England Chisholm on a 71-yard touchdown. Middle Tennessee, 2-0 all time against Miami, but winless against ranked teams. They now lead the 25th-ranked Hurricanes 17-3 first half.
Brent, thank you. Randy Cross, Chick Hernandez coming to you from Bowling Green.
We should thank Houston Nutt and Kevin Carter, too. They're in the studio.
It's an excellent point.
That's not an empty chair.
It's a good point. It's a very good point. You and you've got your studio shows. That's a good job by you. Take care of your guys. They might buy you dinner next time you're in town.
Possibly.
All right, so new quarterback for FIU now. Hayden Carlson steps in and wings one to the right side. Out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Dean Patterson on the catch. Khalif Halassi on the tackle for Western Kentucky. So a quarterback change for Mike McIntyre.
Yeah, described as more of a pure passer. James had that combination, that ability to run a little bit inside. Carlson's got more of the arm.
Interesting decision, because it doesn't seem like it was more Western Kentucky's offense that has done the deal here.
Hey, it's nothing personal. It's not what he did. It's nothing that James did. It's what he didn't do. He wasn't moving the offense. The offense needs a jolt. Get a new quarterback in. Maybe that gives him a jump.
You saw the high school numbers for Hayden Carlson. They were pretty darn good from Steinbrenner High School. And he's so far 1 for 1 on the afternoon. He comes in after playing in that last game against Texas State, where he went 5 for 9 for 55 yards. So the 1st and 10 change, by the way, about the only thing to go wrong here in Western Kentucky. They broke. So they have to make a little makeshift change here.
So now they're not quite 10 yards long.
It might be a positive.
A little kink in them.
Might be a positive for FIU. 2nd and 7. Hayden Carlson, the redshirt freshman from Lutz, Florida. He'll throw again. Right side. And that's picked off. Late pass, and Khalif Halassi on the interception.
Well, I'm trapped somewhere between no and heck no when it comes to where that pass should have been thrown. It probably shouldn't have been thrown. It probably should have been either put in the ground somewhere in another direction or put in the stands, because that one was in play for the defense from the jump. The second it left the hand of Carlson, that was going to be an interception.
Yeah, Halassi's first interception of the season. He had 2 last year for Western Kentucky. He was kind of sitting back there, played it perfectly, and did exactly what he was supposed to do, make the catch and give the ball back to his offense. And so Western Kentucky now will start from their 42-yard line of the Panthers. A wishbone offense here, and that's a reverse. Little trickeration, as they call it. Jalen Hall, right side. Still going. Hall turns inside down to the 13-yard line. The graduate from Macomb, Michigan. And Ben Arbuckle going to his bag of tricks.
Well, misdirection, yes. That was a great job of misdirection. But the blocks out in front on that reverse, those were classic. I mean, you put defenders on their back on the outside. Anytime you do that, you're doing it well. I don't care if you're an offensive lineman or wide receiver or running back. Well, quarterbacks don't do that. Everybody else can do it.
Well, some quarterbacks might be crazy.
Well, some quarterbacks are built like they could do it. But
1st and 10 for the 13. Reed to Robichaux. Robichaux up the middle. A gain of 1. Another look at this one.
Just the quickness of this offense and the speed and the way it gets around the corner. And that blocking out in front. What a nice job.
That's just well designed, well executed. Austin Reed told us yesterday that his offensive coordinator, Ben Arbuckle, always has a wrinkle play each week. Can't wait to run it. I think that might have been it.
That was the wrinkle.
2nd and 9. Quick toss and just falling down. Reed was looking for Beljan again. The Beljan got his feet crossed up.
Well, he put it in the same spot Beljan got himself a touchdown, that, you know, about 8 feet off the ground, where his big tight end can get those hands up, jump, and get up there for 6. Beljan looked like he was getting ready to get up, but the turf monster got him.
Always difficult, that turf monster. So it'll be 3rd and 9 from the 12.
5 receivers on the field right here. Do you think it's a pass?
Reed, plenty of time. He's got all day. Look at the blocking. Cross the middle and caught. Dalvin Smith. I mean, it's just unfair right now if you give Austin Reed a time to get a cup of coffee and then make that throw.
Now you know why the quarterback and his offensive line are such good buddies, because they give him that kind of protection. You have 5 wide receivers, so you talk about spreading out. That offense is spread the width of the field. DBs everywhere, wide receivers everywhere. 5 offensive line up front. They rush 4, they drop 7. 7's not enough.
Dalvin Smith, the sophomore out of Glasgow High School in Kentucky, his 2nd touchdown of the season as Braden Narveson on for the extra point. Trying to get it to 28. That one is up and good. And Western Kentucky, the flag on the play. So hold your horses. But that Hilltopper offense, that's touchdowns on 4 consecutive possessions. After a 3-and-out on their very first drive, they come back.
This Hilltopper offense, the horse is the one thing they haven't used so far.
Illegal substitution on the defense. 12 men in formation. That penalty's declined. Result of the try is good. Media timeout.
Media timeout. It's 28-0. The Hilltoppers on top. And their offense has been rolling. Austin Reed been nothing but spectacular. Throw after throw. 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. We played less than 1/2 from Bowling Green.
Welcome back to Bowling Green, where Western Kentucky leads 28-0. Watch this pocket form. And when you can count the pats and the hops of a quarterback, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, another pat, another hop, another pat, and a throw. That's time. Not quite like the time you saw in some games last week where the quarterback had forever to throw the ball. But, I mean, this was pretty close. At this level, you rarely see, what was that? You had to be getting close to 7-8 seconds just standing back there, maybe 10.
At least. The kickoff from Corey Munson. That's out of over the head of Lex Joseph. It'll be a touchback and FIU ball. They'll start at their 25 and looking for something positive from this offense. They've already made a quarterback change.
Well, Carlson came in and he was the option to James, who started the game. Grayson James. Hayden Carlson came in and threw that interception.
And there's your offensive coordinator, David Yost, a.k.a. Spicoli, who's looking for some answers. He's made a quarterback change from Grayson James to Hayden Carlson.
A lot of experience with some really good quarterbacks for Coach Yost.
No question. And that's going to be Joseph up the middle. We'll call it a gain of 2. Kendrick Simpkins on the tackle for Western Kentucky, the sophomore out of Montgomery, Alabama.
You know, we mentioned, you know, Mike McIntyre, this is his first year as a head coach at Florida International. Every one of these coaches, it's their first year at Florida International, and they had never met each other. None of these guys had much of a relationship before they started this season. Talk about players having to build chemistry.
The first meeting, they don't know what to expect. What's this guy McIntyre? How he's going to run a meeting? They all said they love him. He's got a great intensity, but it's part of the building process for FIU. And to the 35-yard line is Lex Joseph for FIU. So some positive yards here with 7:30 to go in this second quarter. Deontay McCray on the tackle, the freshman from Jacksonville, Florida. Once again, Joseph, and gets ripped down. Nico Cooper
Yeah, how about Marcus Peterson coming through there as the second guy around, grabbing the running back by the back, and you're going to go for it. 4th and 1, this situation, down 4 scores. Yeah, this is not aggressive. This is inevitable.
Joseph in the backfield. 6:50 to go here in this first half. 4th and 1. 8 seconds on the play clock. Grayson James out of the gun. He'll keep it himself. He's got some room up to the 40, the 43-yard line. So a first down for FIU on a 4th and 1. Grayson James takes it himself.
See, I like this move with James back in the game. You made that quick decision. Let's try the other guy, see if it gives us a jolt. Well, it jolted the wrong way. You get Grayson James back in there, see if he can sort of recoup some of those yards.
They're making some changes again, so David Yost is looking for any possible advantage as Hayden Carlson back in at quarterback. He'll go out of the gun with E.J. Wilson in the backfield. 6 minutes. Carlson gonna go up top. Ball knocked around. Incomplete. Intended for Jacoby Hewitt, the junior out of Cordova High School in Tennessee, Indiana.
Well, I know Western Kentucky defensively, talking to Tyson Summers, he was very concerned with Tyrese Chambers. What a weapon he was, how good he was. He's done a pretty good job of taking the number 0 sort of off the chart here.
Chambers leads the conference in catches, but so far nothing. Let's head to our studios and an update from Brent Stover.
Guys, over on CBS, Tennessee down 7-3. Hendon Hooker the touchdown, though. The Vols go in front of the Gators, 10-7 in the second.
Brent, thank you.
Yep. Tennessee up 10-7 on Florida. Josh Heupel, another radar kind of offense.
Here at Bowling Green, FIU down 28-0. Hayden Carlson, the redshirt freshman, in at quarterback on a 3rd and 10.
These air raid offenses, a lot of receivers, not much protection. You better not hold that ball.
Well, they called timeout instead, do FIU. So they'll call time, and we'll take a timeout as well. It's a head scratcher for Mike McIntyre and the Panthers. Watch PBR teams right here on CBS Sports Network.
Well, if Tyson Helton's Western Kentucky Hilltoppers were a bowl, FIU is not staying on anywhere near 8 seconds at this point. In fact, I don't know if they've been on for 4 yet.
I rode a bull in Augusta, Georgia, 2,000-pound Brahma bull. I planned on getting off at the 2-second mark. I got off at the 3-second mark, and then I was in an ER for a night. Not a smart move on my part.
Concussed, were you?
A few things were going wrong there. A little internal bleeding and all. Is that TMI? 3rd and 10 now. FIU. That's right into the thick of things. Boy, that's a difficult pass. Chris Mitchell on the catch. That will not be a first down. And now it's time for Mike McIntyre to.
When you're catching a screen pass and big Broderick Martin, 99, at 6'5", 330, is tackling you on a screen inside, maybe you don't want to go in there. You're not going to get away from him.
Yeah.
He's got his own gravitational pull at 330.
Yeah, there might be some second thoughts there. So Dayton Montiel on to punt now. Talik Allen back for Western Kentucky, standing at his own 15-yard line. Montiel gets it right side. That ball bounces towards the end zone, and it'll be a touchback as Western Kentucky will take over at their own 25 with 4:55 to go here in Bowling Green. Well, they're at 28 points, Western Kentucky, and 17 straight games they scored at least 30. So they're going to get to that mark again for 18 straight games. And Tyson Helton, Ben Arbuckle and company really have a well-oiled machine right now in that offense.
They do. They do. Everyone marveled at what Bailey Zappi was able to do last year, and rightfully so. You know, their offensive coordinator went back down to Texas Tech. He's running that program on the offensive side now, and Zappi's backing up in the NFL, but I tell you, they haven't missed much of a beat right now the way that they're playing offensively.
1st and 10 from the 20, and Reed. Little option pass out to the right, across the 30-yard line. That's Davion Irvin Poindexter with his first touch of the afternoon.
When you see passes like that, that's to a running back. Okay, so air raid offenses, these style of offenses, they can dump it to the running back, and it is the runner.
Quickly to the right, breaking through, and just can't keep on his feet. Gets across the 40-yard line. That's Michael Matheson on the catch. And Reed dealing once again here. The Western Kentucky goes up tempo.
And those passes, the quick passes, are predicated on one thing: breaking the first tackle. You break the first tackle, extra yards.
Reed, little pump now, going to go deep. David Davis on the grab. What a catch in traffic with a man all over him.
The ball got up, wasn't overthrown exactly. In fact, it was underthrown. But look at the adjustment, the body adjustment by David Davis. I mean, that was beautiful.
Brian Blaze was all over him. Up the middle now. Touchdown. Western Kentucky, Davion Irvin Poindexter with his 2nd touchdown of the season. And it's all Western Kentucky. Throw, throw, throw. Give it to the back.
Right over that right side. Britton, Murphy, Stats. They open that whole right side up, and you just jet through that thing. That was completely unencumbered. Couldn't get fingerprints on that one.
Redshirt junior is Davion Irvin Poindexter from Maryville, Indiana. Again, gets his 2nd touchdown of the season. And Narvison on for the extra point. It's good, and it's 35-0 with 4 minutes and 1 second to go in this first half of play. The Hilltoppers, Irvin Poindexter to pay dirt. College football on CBS Sports Network, presented by the Home Depot. 35-0. Western Kentucky with 4 minutes to go here in this first half of play. Reminder, coming up at the half, it's the Ram Trucks halftime report. In the studio, Brett Stover, Houston Nutt, Kevin Carter, and Austin Reed should be all of it. Randy Cross.
Well, I tell you, this young man is showing, and if you're watching this, I hope you're enjoying it, because you don't get to watch quarterback play quite like this all the time. I know we saw that Wake Forest Clemson game earlier with Uliungalale and Hartman lighting it up. Well, this is a one-man light up right here.
Austin Reed has been nothing but spectacular for Western Kentucky as the ball rolls off the tee here. A little blustery day.
That's the only thing that's gone wrong for the Hilltoppers so far today. The ball blew off the tee.
We talked about the competitiveness of Austin Reed. He said, back in the my early days in school, I lost friends in PE class because I was so competitive. But he also said, you know what? It's tough on them. They're soft.
Yeah, they're soft, and they weren't that good of friends, I guess.
Yeah. He is a guy who has certainly burst on the scene here. He said that Tyson Helton made no promises. He said the only promise he made was you would get a fair shot to be our quarterback, and he gave him that. Short kick here from Munson. And FIU from the 18-yard line and up to the 29-yard line. That's where they will start as Keegan Davis on the return. So if you are Mike McIntyre with 3:56 to go here in this first half, what are you telling your team?
We've got to stay on the field offensively. We have to build some semblance of pace, some semblance of consistency. They haven't run the ball extremely well. They've thrown it to Western Kentucky a time or so.
Aiden Carlson again in at quarterback. Lex Joseph will go nowhere. No gain for FIU.
And the problem really is, you look at what Summers' defense for Western Kentucky, the defensive coordinator, they love to attack. And when a defense attacks, they get in your backfield. And they have lived in FIU's backfield. Run or pass.
Jaquez Evans has put up a Barca lounger in that backfield.
Well, look at this front right here. You've only got 2 down linemen, 2 guys with hand in the dirt.
Carlson left side. And again, the defense swarming. Jalen Bracey on the catch for FIU. Darion Goodrum on the stop for Western Kentucky. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, this is a tough kind of a game for Florida International, but you know, FIU is going to be taking their lumps today and probably some for the rest of this year. But this staff is a pretty good staff. They'll get their stuff together. Mike McIntyre will have this team going in the right direction. I guarantee you that.
You see David Yost, the OC there. They know it's a process. As you said, they're going to take their lumps. He's done that at previous programs. Hard to convince the kids at the time, but then they come through that tunnel and they see the light. 3rd and 6 from the 32. Carlson. A flag thrown and a a hat thrown as well on the out of bounds marker. Upton Stout on the defense there.
The hat was thrown as soon as the receiver went out of bounds. That's what that was for.
They were looking for Tyrese Chambers.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 21. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic. 1st down.
So Upton Stout called for the PI. And Tyrese Chambers, who came into this game leading the conference, is 0 catches this afternoon.
So far he coincides with his number.
Short gain for FIU as Cross makes Hernandez chuckle.
Well, I mean, you know, it's every defense's job. If you got a weapon like that, especially when you're an offense like this, where it's clearly their best player, it's incumbent upon you to take them away and then make them beat you with something else.
2nd and 8. For Hayden Carlson, the redshirt freshman from Lutz, Florida. Out of the gun, low snap. He'll go up top. Once again, looking for Chambers now, trying to get Chambers the ball any way they can. And the nice defense from Upton Stout.
Nice job. Did you see Upton Stout, the way he used that sideline with his friend? Not enough DBs do that. And you with your body position, you almost force the receiver to run out of bounds. So he takes himself out of the play.
35-0 lead for the Hilltoppers. This is the 7th meeting of FIU here at Western Kentucky. And only 1 of 6 of those previous games has been inside 2 scores. So Western Kentucky has had their way with the Panthers. 3rd and 8. Quarterback going to take it, but a flag on the play in the FIU backfield.
Yeah, that's right, in that position, trailing the play like that, usually holding.
Holding. Offense. Number 13. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. 3rd down.
So Rivaldo Fairweather, the tight end, called for the hold. The sophomore out of Lauderhill, Florida. And 6'5", 245, hard to miss him.
Well, especially when the play is trailing away from you like that and you have to grab a little. Those jerseys can be remarkably stretchy and hard to miss when they stretch.
3rd and 18. No question. And Juwan Jones told us a couple of weeks ago, he used to wear this medium. Very hard to hold him whatsoever. That jersey barely fit on his body. 3rd and 18, 1:48 to go. Again, across the middle. This time, Chambers on the catch across midfield to the 49-yard line. Upton Stout on the tackle, but Tyrese Chambers gets his first catch of the afternoon.
There you were. You found a way. You got the kind of coverage you wanted. They were in zone. They were playing quarters back behind the play. You went a crossing route with Chambers and got yourself a big play.
FIU tried to go up tempo, but Western Kentucky called the timeout. But Tyson Summers, the DC, says, hold on a second. And we will too. 4th and 1, 1:27 to go. Mike McIntyre looking for something positive here at the end of this first half.
This field has no markers, no chalked white lines, no cheering crowds. But there is a scoreboard tracking the billions of dollars Ryan tax professionals save their clients every year. The players may not be tall or fleet of foot, but they're swift of mind, strong of will, and wired to win every single day. That's what they do at Ryan.
$35-0 Western Kentucky. Another look. Chambers on the catch. Finally got out to Schneid.
Yeah, getting across the field.
4th and 1, 127. Carlson's going to take it again, but in the backfield. How about the defensive play from Western Kentucky? What a tackle. And C.J. Jones, the converted running back to DB with the play to turn this one over on downs.
Yeah, when you're getting that penetration, like the Western Kentucky defense is penetrating the offense, you get back there like that and they're going sideways, that's exactly how you have a tackle for loss.
One more look.
There's the penetration, there's the going sideways, and there's a tackle for loss.
Hayden Carlson's got to move forward, not sideways. He's looking for a room, but there was none. C.J. Jones, the 5th-year senior, on the stop. So 1st and 10 from the 48 of FIU. Wow, what a dart to the right side. They're going to call it a catch. Boy, David Davis on the sideline. That was a rope.
Well, I guess if you have questions about the arm strength of Austin Reed, I don't know about that. That was put in a porthole. That wasn't a window. That was a porthole, and that was put perfectly in the far outside of the porthole.
If anybody has questions about his arm strength, they should go into concussion protocol right now. 2nd and 1. Robichaux up the middle. Down to the 35-yard line. That'll be 1st down, Western Kentucky. Just over a minute to go here in this first half.
Pushing the pace.
Arbuckle, the OC now, electing to go quick. Reed, straight drop. He's got time and an outlet to Robichaux, left side. Robichaux, the hit. That ball is loose afterwards. You call him down at the 32-yard line. Jamal Potts, Demetrius Hill on the stop.
Well, they started getting the production out of Robichaux last week, and it's really been even more augmented even further to this week. What a huge piece of this offense if you have a running back that can run and catch like Robichaux.
So Western Kentucky takes the timeout with 53 seconds. They want more here before they go in this first half.
They won't be dinking and dunking either. They're not one of those teams like that. You've already seen them take their strikes down the field.
Conference opener for both. Western Kentucky coming off a disappointing loss to Indiana last week, in which they had a chance to win it. Their kicker, Braden Narveson, had a chance at a 44-yarder at the end of regulation to win it. They don't get it done, and in the extra period gets a field goal blocked. They were so close, but Coach told us they've come back this weekend with a really good mindset.
Yeah, I mean, and if you're a Western Kentucky fan, you kind of say, is this deja vu? Because in 2015, they lost to Indiana to drop them to 2-1, and they ended up 12-2 that year.
They take that right now in a heartbeat. Right now, 58 seconds to go in this first half, and Austin Reed has been nothing short of spectacular in this Ben Arbuckle offense. A bunch of weapons. His roommate Malachi Corley has been huge today in this first quarter of play. Robichaux in the backfield, 2nd and 5. Reed, pressure, goes right to Robichaux. He's got one man to beat on the outside. Gets by him and gets out of bounds at the 24-yard line.
Yeah, Robichaux just outran that angle. He caught that pass, and the DB coming from that inside out, he had the angle on Robichaux, but Robichaux just turned the jets on and got to the corner.
Career high 135 last week against Indiana. They clocked him at 22.5 miles per hour in a run last week. He's the fastest back they have. As Reed now 7 consecutive completions.
Is there a speed limit on those things?
I don't think so. Although I've reached the speed limit many times because I get those little notices in the mail, and my wife looks at me and goes, "Really? Again?" I didn't see the clock. 1st and 10, 51 seconds. Reed, little dump off to David Davis. And he gets stopped. Demetrius Hill, nice defensive play.
Nice job by Demetrius Hill, just squaring him up and bringing him down. Timeout by Western Kentucky.
That's their last timeout. All right, last week in Bloomington, as I mentioned, Western Kentucky had a chance for the upset, but fell short in a heartbreaker. Narvison's attempt in overtime gets blocked. And then moments later, the Hoosiers' Charles Campbell from 51 yards completes the comeback. That's a 33-30 overtime victory, preventing the Hilltoppers from starting the year 3-0. What happened on the block kick, Randy?
Watch the top of the screen. Look at the jump the Indiana defensive back gets coming around that corner. You give him a short corner like that, he is going to get around that corner with that kind of a jump and block it every time. We mentioned Tyson Helton was kind of the special teams guru. He told us the other day, he goes, that was 100% on me. We should have been in tackle over, which would have widened the corner. Would have been impossible, even with that jump, to get there to block it. It's hard to argue with, too.
And it's a comfort factor for Narvison and the entire special teams going to go up when the coach says, dude, that's on me, it's my bad, because he wasn't thinking that way at that moment.
Doesn't mean Harbison shouldn't have kicked the one in regulation.
Correct. 2nd and 7. Reed now looking for his 8th straight completion. Gets it to Robichaux. And Robichaux gets out of bounds just inside the 20-yard line. 36 seconds to go, and the clock is stopped.
What a smart play by Robichaux. That's really, using your head. You've talked about it during the timeout. I'm going to throw the ball to you. If you get near the sideline, don't fight for the extra yard. Get out of bounds. Don't stay in. We don't want to waste that timeout here.
36 seconds to go on the 3rd and 3. And Robichaux will be in the backfield with him. David Davis split out right by himself. Malachi Corley in the slot, already with 2 touchdowns. He goes in motion. Reed gonna go right side, looking for Davis. And the flags come out. Adrian Cole, with his hands to his side, gets called.
That flag came from deep center field. And if it is out there in that area, that was in the end zone, so that'll come out to like the 3-yard line.
And with 31 seconds to go, and this Hilltopper offense looking for more. Adrian Cole shaking his head.
Pass interference. Defense, number 6. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
One more time happening in the corner. Watch the physical contact. You can't really blame sometimes the defensive back because the receiver kind of slows down to get at that ball, but it's still going to get called.
Cole, the transfer from Syracuse.
Remember, you need no timeouts. You need about 12 seconds to get your field goal team on the field if you're going to kick a field goal.
1st and goal from the 3. Robichaux in the backfield. Quick motion. Reed rolling right. He's got plenty of time. Fires. And touchdown. Late call, but David Davis on the score. With the patience that Austin Reed showed there for his 5th touchdown pass of the afternoon.
Well, you saw that play start out the way it did. Then the quick scramble to the right. They're going from the jump. Receiver's going with you, and you just put that thing down there. Davis goes down and get it, and the hesitation was basically, the officials have to be sure. A, was it a catch? B, did he control it through the catch and all the way to the end?
You know what I liked about that play? Kai Robichaux. We talked about it yesterday. Pass protection. He's the guy who stayed back, made sure that Austin Reed wasn't touched, had plenty of time. He delivered, and so did Austin Reed to David Davis. Narvison now on for the extra point. Looking to make it 42-0 here with 26 seconds to go in this first half of play. Snap, hold, kick, good. And it is all Western Kentucky right now on top 42-0 over the Panthers of FIU. Tomorrow, it's week 3 of the NFL on CBS with a great slate of games, including Patrick Mahomes' Chiefs on the road against the Colts. 2 undefeated teams meeting in Miami as Josh Allen's Bills clash with Tua and the Dolphins, or the Bengals taking on the Jets. The day begins at noon Eastern with JB and the guys on the NFL Today. That's all coming up on Sunday on CBS. And that Bills-Dolphins game, that's a whole lot of offense there, Randy. That's a lot.
It is way, way early. And that was an unbelievable performance last week by Tua Tagovailoa and that offense.
He
That's a different kind of defense, but Buffalo's going to be missing a few starters on defense, so Miami may get to continue that run.
They were talking about Tua breaking some of Dan Marino's records. Just unfathomable. At the 20-yard line, that one is down as he stumbles. And so FIU takes over at their 21-yard line. It's been all Western Kentucky as Carlson comes back out. Well, he is just getting a baptism under fire. Is Hayden Carlson, the redshirt freshman from Lutz, Florida. Made his debut last week in some mop-up duty. Grayson James started this one. After a couple of series, David Joe said, let's go see the young fella.
Yeah, I mean, having been on some bad teams, it's not very much fun. I was asked earlier this week what I'd learned during our first 2-14 season in San Francisco. I said I learned I didn't like losing a lot.
Jay Wilson on the carry. 18 seconds and the clock is running. And Carlson is walking off the field. So this is going to be the last play of the first half here.
It's going to be time to head into the locker room. Get on that grease board. Try to figure out what you're seeing, what you can do. Because so far defensively, Western Kentucky has been almost as good as they've been offensively.
Well, Austin Reed has been everything for that offense for Western Kentucky. He ends the half with 10 consecutive completions, 5 touchdown passes. Malachi Corley has 2 himself. And it's all Hilltoppers, 42-0 from Bowling Green. What will FIU come up with in this second half? Well, we're going to bring it to you on the CBS Sports Network. Back here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, where it's been all Hilltoppers, 42-0 over FIU. The most points they've scored here in a first half. Randy Cross, Chick Hernandez. I mean, it's all Western Kentucky. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's been pretty amazing to watch. And as good as this offense was last year with Bailey Zappi and all the stats and whatnot, they didn't have a half like this. They didn't have this kind of effort. Austin Reed, 5 touchdown passes. He did it with short passes that Malachi took deep. In fact, this was originally registered as a run. It took him a while to look it back and see, now it was a forward pass. But every one that he has, there's some touch. There's rips where he's just zipping that thing in. There's drops where he drops it right over the top there to Malachi. I mean, he does a little bit of everything. Then he hits his tight end after about a, 5-hop, 3-pat, bang. You've watched something very special. You don't get to see these kind of performances very often. Now, FIU wants nothing to do with seeing this kind of performance, but they're going to have to stay for another half.
The first half stats brought to you by Ryan. It's 42-0. Look at the numbers. Obviously dominating right now for Western Kentucky.
Yeah, rushing yards too. I mean, Robichon is doing a really nice job of running the ball and catching and blocking.
Well, if you're Western Kentucky, you started out this game on a 3-and-out. And then you had drives of 94, 84, 66, 42, 75, and 48 yards for scores. And Austin Reed with 5 touchdown passes on the afternoon. That's impressive.
I guess the inquiring mind wants to know, when you're up 42-0, well, how much longer do your starters play? That's entirely up to Tyson Helton, but I would say at least another series or 2.
You would fully expect him to come out and play here in the second half.
I think so. I guess you call off the dogs and, dial it back some, but that's not really the MO. That's not how these guys are built.
Well, you're right, because there is Austin Reed about to play here in this second half, up 42-0. Austin Reed told us yesterday, I've never been anybody's first choice. And that kind of chip on his shoulder is the way he plays. And
you can kind of tell, can't you, just watching the way he plays?
Absolutely. And he's got a good body, 6'2", 230, not afraid to run it himself. He's got the kind of weight behind his body there. Didn't need it today. Doesn't need it today. And he's got a national title to his credit at Division II West Florida, and he's throwing again. This time on the outside. Demetrius Hill on the stop, Jalen Hall on the catch. That's 11 straight completions for Austin Reed. If you're wondering, and I know you are, the record is 18 straight by the aforementioned Bailey Zappi.
Yeah, we have timing for everything. I'd love to see how long that ball stays in his hand in the course of a game on an average pass. It ain't long.
That's a quick pitch to the front. That's going to be a head off, and that's up the middle, down the right side. Can he beat one more? He cannot. Demetrius Hill on the stop, but Michael Matheson on what is an end around.
Well, you catch it and kind of toss it forward. That's a pass, isn't it?
It's a pass. That's 12 straight.
Yep. And you just rip around that outside. You've got the blocking, you've got the scheme, you've got the execution.
That's his easiest completion. Again, Matheson, right side. 13 straight completions for Austin Reed.
Yeah, look at the blocking inside out. And I say inside out because when you're able to run like that, you've already eliminated blockers and pursuers coming from the inside when you can run like that on the outside.
First series of the second half on a 2nd and 5 now for Austin Reed and company. Ben Arbuckle, the OC, has called a masterful game, only topped by the execution of Western Kentucky. Davian Irvin Poindexter in the backfield. And again, a quick flip. Dalvin Smith.
Yeah, one thing you cannot fault is the execution of this offense, and they are flawless right now, the way they're executing. And one of the Panthers, the FIU Panthers, is down on the field.
So quickly they move out to the injured player. We'll check to see who that is. Another forward pitch there from Austin Reed.
Well, Arbuckle, the offensive coordinator, he's not leaving much in the bucket. Right now, he's taking that bucket and he's holding it upside down and he's wiping out the inside. He's emptying it.
The Home Depot, as you take a look at the injured Panther going off, that's Donovan Manuel, the junior. He's 4th in the league in tackles. He goes off to the sideline. He'll get looked at. One of the bell cows of this FIU defense, a very young defense, the junior from Ellenwood, Georgia.
You talk about earning your way off the field.
Yes.
You talked about how long do you play your starters. Well, if your starters come out and execute like this to start the second half, they may be earning their way off the field.
Reed, and a roll right. Down inside the 10-yard line, down to the 7-yard line. Jake Howard on the stop. Joshua Simon, the big tight end, with the catch. That's 15 straight completions for Austin Reed. He's now number 2 all-time in consecutive passes as he passes Mike White, who did it back in 2017. Up next is Bailey Zappi, who did it in 2021, 18 straight against FIU, at FIU. What wrinkle comes next? 1st and goal with 12:45 to go in this third quarter.
Well, we haven't heard anything from Mr. Corley lately.
This is true. Irvin Poindexter in the backfield. He gets the carry. Weaves his way. The pile pushes to the end zone. Touchdown, Western Kentucky. Davian Irvin Poindexter on the score. His 2nd of the afternoon.
Well, we've seen jet motion right with a quick flip that turned into a run, and jet motion left with a quick flip that turned into a run left. Now here's jet motion right again, which turns into a handoff to the fullback up the middle. If you're defense, you got to get dizzy with all this motion because it's almost impossible to stay in position against a team, especially with this kind of speed.
And their center, Rusty Stats, was pushing that pile across the end zone. Little assist from Rusty Stats.
Yeah, he wants to earn himself off the field, too. Linemen don't usually get that break, though.
Nor should they. I'm kidding. Narveson on for the extra point now to make it 49-0. Snap, hold, kick is good. And Western Kentucky up 49-0. That is the most points they've scored in a half since 47 last year against Marshall.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by the Home Depot. How doers get more done. By Serve Pro, the #1 choice in cleanup and restoration. And by Pedigree. Pedigree. Feed the good.
And of course, the head coach Currently of Western Kentucky, Tyson Helton in his 4th year. 2019 Conference Coach of the Year. Had a 6-game improvement in 2018 to 2019 of 6 wins, which tied for 3rd in the FBS. And he has done a fantastic job here at Western Kentucky.
He's done a great job, and sort of underrated how good they've been on defense. They've gotten in some wild shootouts, but they've had defense when they've needed it, and but offensively is where he's hung his hat. And last year and so far this year have really been pretty exceptional when it comes to that.
Tyson Summers, that defensive coordinator, also coming over, and I mean, this defense has 11 takeaways, tied for 1st in the country, so they are definitely opportunistic.
And they added their 12th today.
FIU starting from the 25-yard line. Flag is down as Trey Shaw makes the tackle on Jalen Bracey.
That was thrown by a referee. It's going to be holding.
Holding. Offense. Number 13. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
So Rivaldo Fairweather gets his 2nd penalty of the afternoon.
Yep.
That's his 2nd holding call.
That's just having a little bit of too good a grasp of your technique when you get out there on the outside and you get your hands outside of the frame of the body. That's the problem. You get outside of the frame, your hands stick out, and it's easy for the officials to see you holding.
So 1st and 20, and Carlson intended for Chambers, but knocked away. Will Ignat on the stop. First time we've called his name this afternoon. He had 7 tackles last week against Indiana. So 2nd and 20 for FIU.
Now look at the front here for Western Kentucky. What are they going to give him? You got 2 guys with their hands down.
Up the middle. And not much there for FIU.
So common sense tells you, you look at 2 guys standing up, 2 guys with their hands down, 2 guys in the general vicinity, but really 1 close. You've got 5 guys in the box. Your brain says that should be the run. Well, the problem is they pursue so well inside out, and like we talked about Tyson Summers being a tackling kind of a nut as a defensive coordinator. He has his guys practice it every day. They tackle so well. It's hard to guess right against this defense.
3rd and 19 for FIU. Lex Joseph in the backfield. Carlson pushed out and pressured, going to throw it to the right side and out of bounds. It'll be 4th down FIU as Carlson gets pressured in that pocket. Deontay McCray giving the pressure.
Yeah, Davion Williams was getting ready to poach on that ball. If that ball was thrown low enough where it get near the receiver, because he was breaking on the ball. That was a smart job by Carlson of throwing that thing into the 2nd row of the stands.
And Tyson Summers, the defensive coordinator, loves what his defense is doing right now all afternoon on a beautiful day for the Hilltoppers defense and offense. 4th 3 and out for FIU. Talik Allen back, calls the fair catch at the 47, drops it for a second, but gets it back. And so it'll be Hilltopper ball from the 47-yard line. All right, time now to look at today's Geico difference makers. Let me guess, Austin Reed?
Well, the choices were Austin Reed, or Austin Reed, or one of the other touchdown passes by Austin Reed. There's been 6 of them so far, and his passing yards, his touchdowns, his play and this offense have absolutely dominated this game.
Kai Robichaux also with a big helper. Guy who's got a scholarship in late August. Been very good today. 10 carries, 63 yards. As Western Kentucky continues and Reed continues for the offense and continues to make completions. Demetrius Hill on the stop.
And Robichaux, as Reed describes him, is kind of country strong. You saw country strong there. He was able to stop and start and break through tackles.
16 straight and 17 straight now completions for Austin Reed as he finds Dalvin Smith on the outside. That'll be a 1st down to Western Kentucky. Reed now 1 away from the Western Kentucky record of 18 straight consecutive passes completed, held by Bailey Zappi last year.
You see the hand signals. You see that Reed and his communication with his coordinator, Arbuckle on the sideline. Everybody knows what's going on. They all know what the quarterback's thinking.
This is the drama right now. Can he get the record? 1st and 10. Reed, right side, and a catch. 18 straight for Austin Reed. Hezekiah Masses on the stop.
At the pace they're playing with, Chick, you're going to get your answer pretty doggone quick because they're not exactly going to huddle and make you wait.
So 18 straight completions. And Denzel Eleni on the catch. One more completion here. And Austin Reed has the record. There's a give up the middle, scoot to the outside. That's Jakari Moses with his first carry of the afternoon. Jeremy Passmore on the tackle.
You know, there's days you watch quarterbacks and they're kind of on. The accuracy here, though, from Austin Reed is probably the most impressive thing about what he's doing. Where he's putting the ball. His location, if he was a pitcher, you'd say his location is absolutely nails.
22-4 in first downs for Western Kentucky. 18 straight completions. 1st and 10. Reed pulls it down and throws it in the dirt. How about that? The record will stay with Bailey Zappi and now Austin Reed at 18 straight completions on what was his worst throw of the afternoon, maybe.
I don't know how bad that throw was. I know it had been tight if it got in there. I think he was kind of putting that where nobody else was going to be able to do it and give himself a chance to complete a big play on 2nd down. I thought that was a pretty smart play, honestly, Chick.
All right, so perhaps he didn't know the record, didn't care, which is great.
Well, after talking to that kid, I'm not sure he would give a hoot.
Denzel Eleni, wide left. And Reed goes right. That's the big fella down the left side. Joshua Simon on the catch inside the 15 down to the 12. Reed right back to a completion.
Yeah, for some reason 8 makes you look a little smaller looking at Simon, but I mean he's 6'4", 235. There's not much small about him as a receiver, but he sure moves. He moves kind of small.
6'4", 235, and looks like it's all legs.
For a tight end, he runs real well.
1st and 10. On the 15. Reed, boy, he slings it to the right. Down the right sideline. Michael Matheson on the catch. Jake Howard on the stop. That ball gets out quick and in a hurry.
You know, Arbuckle, the offensive coordinator, talks about Reed pretty glowingly. Obviously, he's off to a pretty good start. But he talks about, you know, my quarterbacks can't hold the ball. If I look for one thing, it's they got to be able to get the ball out of their hands. And, man, if there's one thing you've seen out of this kid, it's been the ball's coming out fast. But what makes it different, fast and accurate, is just special.
Just 5 incompletions on the afternoon for Austin Reed. They're up 49-0. 2nd and 3. This time on the ground. Davion Irvin Poindexter into a crowd short of the 1st down. It'll be 3rd and 3. Henry Gray, the sophomore out of Hollywood, Florida, on the tackle, the transfer from Nebraska for FIU. Mike McIntyre will go back.
2 tight ends. So they're going to give you a 12 formation. 1 running back, 2 tight ends, both lined up on the left side. 1 is a wing, 1 is a tight end.
FIU a bit confused. Matheson in motion, then comes right back, makes the catch, but a nice stop on the defensive side. FIU makes the stop. That's Hezekiah Masses.
Yeah,
good tackle.
Smart play by Masses. He saw that motion start and go away from him. Then suddenly the motion stops, comes back to him. Reed tries to flip it out. He never hesitates, never misses a beat, and closes for the tackle. That was real nice defense.
All right, so they'll try the field goal. The junior from Scottsdale, Arizona, Braden Narveson, on for a 30-yard attempt, 4 of 7 on the season. 1 of 2 from 30 to 39. Snap, hold. And that one is true. Narveson puts 3 more on the board, and it's 52-0. Hilltoppers over FIU. Arbuckle and company, Helton and company, cruising here in Bowling Green. All right, time now for the Do Project Smarter, brought to you by the Home Depot. And tell you what, playing smart, Austin Reed, 18 straight completions, tying the Western Kentucky record.
What hasn't Western Kentucky done smarter? I'd say getting this kid out of West Florida was a pretty smart move. Getting him in this offense and giving him the opportunity to compete and win the job, which he did.
Guy won the national championship at Division II West Florida, has a ring that he got the next season. His parents have it at their house. I asked him, you ever flash it around here? He goes, oh, no. But they did. The players are certainly asking him about what it was like to win a national title. Lexington Joseph now on the return. Gets knocked out of bounds at the 28-yard line. FIU will take over there. So a learning experience for the Panthers of FIU.
Well, they are getting a chance today, and they've played a pretty good mix of guys up front in that offensive line, which is generally speaking fairly young like the rest of this team.
Well, David Yost has gone back to his starting quarterback now, Grayson James. He is back in the lineup as Hayden Carlson will take a seat. And that's Joseph, who gets absolutely mauled by Darian Goodrum, the junior from Athens, Georgia. Not a whole lot of room there, Randy.
Well, not only that, you're lining up and they're in kind of that bear look defensively. You're penetrating, coming off that 3 look on the offensive guard, get into the backfield, and you're hitting the running back 3 yards deep. 2nd and 10 for Grayson James, the sophomore out of Duncanville, Texas, who started this game and then left after a couple of series with nothing to show for it. Give up the middle to E.J. Wilson on the carry. He'll get a couple. It'll be 3rd and 6 for FIU. Will Ignat of the tackle. Jacob Peace had to come off, offensive lineman. Helmet came off, so you got a substitute in there at right tackle.
And flags on the play. We got illegal motion.
Penalty, 3rd down.
So Julius Pierce, the redshirt sophomore from Sanford, Florida, gets called for the false start.
Yeah, he in there. After the helmet comes off, you make the substitution.
So a 3rd and 12 now for the Panthers. Grayson James. The roll right and then chuck it right, and that one's out of bounds, intended for E.J. Wilson. But a turnover on downs for Western Kentucky. Kendrick Simpkins on the coverage. As we take a look now, James goes to the sideline. He's got to kind of hang in that right arm.
Yeah, a little bit of a hitch there in his right shoulder.
FIU will punt. Dayton Montiel on, and Talik Allen back for Western Kentucky. He stands at his 33-yard line with 4:48 to go. Montiel gets off a good one. Allen calls for the fair catch, and he gets run into by Demetrius Hill. But Demetrius Hill didn't give him any room to catch the ball. There's contact made, and as Randy Cross called it, fair catch interference.
Yep, by about 2 yards, actually.
Overzealous.
Ball should have been caught on the 36. Unfortunately, the receiver never got even close to it.
Kick catch interference. Kicking team, number 7. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Automatic 1st down.
Yeah, some of the stuff's kind of easy to call, huh, Chick? It happens right out there in front of God and country, and Those are just bad mistakes. That's a mistake you can correct through coaching.
FIU here with 4:40 to go. George and Mike McIntyre are the only father-son duo to win the Bobby Dodd Coach of the Year award. Tyson and Kim Helton, one of 2 father-son duos to be named Coach of the Year in the same FBS league. The other father-son duo to be named Coach of the Year in the same FBS league, the Bowdens, Tommy and old Bobby. You know, when I worked at Augusta, Bobby would come in for recruiting every once in a while, and to sit down with that guy and talk football is just mesmerizing. All right, new quarterback now for Western Kentucky as Darius Ocean gets his first plays and snaps as a Hilltopper.
Redshirt freshman out of Raleigh, North Carolina.
Jeremy Passmore on the tackle for FIU. So Ocean gets some playing time. And picking his way up is Jakari Moses, redshirt junior. Let's check in the studios in New York and Brent Stover.
Guys, Middle Tennessee doing Conference USA proud today, pouring it on against Miami. Chase Cunningham's 69-yard touchdown to Elijah Metcalf. The Blue Raiders looking for their first ever win over a ranked opponent.
Brent, thank you. Hope you're enjoying the cozy confines of that cool studio while me and Mr. Cross out here are absolutely sweating bullets. The sun shining right in this press box. We're enjoying ourselves here on a beautiful afternoon at Bowling Green, Kentucky. The Hilltoppers up 52-0. 3rd and 3 for Darius Ocean. He's going to throw left-hander. Watch a sidewinder. To the 10, the 5, and touchdown. And just like that, the Hilltoppers scored Darius Ocean with his first touchdown of his Hilltopper career.
Different quarterback, throwing with a different arm, but an eerily similar result. Get the snap, ball spins out, delivered perfectly on time, and when you deliver it accurately and on time like that, the receiver can head immediately up the field.
Well, freshman to freshman, Easton Messer on that catch. The freshman from Louisville, Kentucky, gets his first career touchdown as well. And Braden Narveson now on for the extra point. That one's through. And Western Kentucky continues to pile it on 59-0. That's a heck of a throw for the left-hander.
It really is. You come back and you hit this thing quick, just a little skinny little in like that, and it's just right there. It's a perfectly run little route. Ball was in the quarterback's hand about half a second, spun right into the receiver's hands. That was well done.
5'9", 192 for Messer. If you're FIU, you're going, wait a second. We just saw Malachi Corley do this to us in the first half. Now you got another little skitterbug who's going through this defense.
That's called recruiting.
And Tyler Helton. So Darius Ocean throws the touchdown. Look at Austin Reed. Loves it. Absolutely loves it. Austin Reed. Heck of a day for Austin Reed. The unofficial numbers, 29 of 35, 381, and 5 touchdowns, including 18 straight completions. That's called having a day.
That's a full day's work there now.
FIU and the touchback will start at the 25. We'll see who comes out at quarterback now after watching their quarterback, Grayson James, go off with a little injured wing, but he comes right back out in the field. His sophomore from Duncansville, Texas. The OC David Yost said about Grayson James, he's got an arm like Herbert, Gabbert, and Love, of which Yost has worked with all 3 of those quarterbacks. They were very good. But
That's a compliment.
It's a compliment. But right now you're down 59-0. You're not going to see that today.
And the way this defense for Western Kentucky is attacking, you're going to see how good his feet are probably.
Well, he's 6'3", 235. So far, 3 of 8 for 17 yards. 4 carries, 12 yards for Grayson James. Low snap. Rolls right, and that is complete up to the 29-yard line. Ross Fournay on the catch. I mentioned it earlier to Brent Stover. I mean, we're right. You couldn't, when you're working on your tan,
oh yeah,
I don't need one.
Yeah. We're sun-washed.
When this game is over, I'm going to pour my clothes off into the car and make a change.
I was going to say, this shirt was not originally this deep a blue.
The sun is shining on Western Kentucky for sure, as they will move to 3-1 on the season. A little bounce back from that disappointing loss to Indiana. 3rd and 3 FIU. Lexington Joseph on the carry, and he'll be short of that first down. As you take a look at Darius Ocean now dapping up his entire offensive unit.
You get one of the offensive linemen down on the field. Your goals haven't changed here, by the way. If you're FIU, you're still looking for a consistent drive. You're looking for something to hang your hat on.
Well, the injured Panther is Lindell Hudson, who's been injured this season. They hope to have him back for a couple of quarters, but he's now down on the turf. Had a bad ankle, and you can see they're working on that right ankle right now. That's tough. High ankle sprains are tough. They last forever.
They are like Samsonite luggage. Once you get it, they ain't going anywhere. And you can go 2 weeks with nothing, and all of a sudden somebody just kind of kicks you in the side of your ankle, and it's just immediate pain.
He gets rolled up on by Lorenzo Hernandez, all 285 pounds of him.
Again, another good use for that Google machine there is put in high ankle sprain and see what that is, because that's not a normal ankle sprain. A high ankle sprain is you get a sprain actually in the ligaments of where the bones come down into your ankle and join. A high ankle sprain is where up into that ligament sheath in between the bones are affected too, not just the ankle. That's what makes it so hard to recover from and why it takes so long to get back.
So in this broadcast, you've used alacrity and sheath. 2 words I'll be going back home to use the Google machine on. I appreciate it. You watched The Wire too? 59-0 right now. Western Kentucky, all of them. On a 4th and 1, that's a first down. On the completion.
Very nice job. That may be a run, actually. Maybe not a pass. It looked like it was at least level, if not behind the quarterback when he threw that.
That's 2 catches for Ross Fournette, who's a really good story for this FIU team. A former walk-on who got a scholarship August 27th. Bad snap now. And that is just tossed out of bounds. Grayson James got the ball and chucked it out of bounds forward. So it amounts to just an incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Referee, that little announcement you heard that was not intentional grounding. There was a receiver in the area. Because your natural instinct, especially if you're a Western Kentucky fan or a non-FIU fan, is to say, hey, wait a minute, that's intentional grounding.
Grayson James using his noggin. Up the middle, nowhere to go. And backwards. That's E.J. Wilson, the sophomore from Tampa, Florida, on the carry. It'll be 3rd and 10 with 1:33 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Now you've got 3rd and long. Tyson Summers, the defensive coordinator. You can do a little man on the backside and unleash the dogs here.
James, that ball gets knocked down. Incomplete pass. Virgil Marshall on the little bat down there.
How about that for a blitz, Chick? I mean, they've showed blitz a lot, but they show blitz with linebackers and DBs, and they're not kidding, because they're all coming. Nice job getting rid of that thing before they could arrive.
Marshall, 6 feet 200 from Cocoa, Florida, the freshman.
Almost tipped it and caught it.
So it'll be 4th down. Dayton Montiel on the punt. He's done that a lot today. Talik Allen back. Flags on the play. Whistles blown, and we'll do this again as Allen catches that one at the 15-yard line.
A little procedure penalty.
False start. Offense, number 6. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Adrian Cole Had a little jump.
So Dayton McMontiel back to punt, and they put Malachi Corley back now to punt, or to punt return. And Corley runs up at his 22 and calls a fair catch. Just trying to give Corley a touch there.
Yeah, it's a smart job, I guess, free catch. There's a lot of full-time punt returners would love to get a ball where they're in the guy within 5 yards of them. That's what they look for.
Perhaps they're pumping the brakes a little bit, up 59-0. 1:05 to go here in this third quarter of play. Largest victory versus FIU is 56 points back in 2015. And right now, they've got that one. Tyson Helton has had a day with his Hilltoppers. Darius Ocean remains the quarterback. The left-hander, redshirt freshman from Raleigh, North Carolina. 1st and 10. Ocean going to keep it himself, right side. And the slide. Smart slide from the quarterback. Get down at the 20, we'll call it the 25, 24-yard line.
That's one of your little pet peeves, isn't it? Is quarterbacks that don't know how to slide.
It's a big pet peeve for quarterbacks who don't know how to slide. I don't understand.
He looked like a former baseball player.
Exactly right. I've seen guys in college and in the pros. I won't mention any names, Robert Griffin III, but that's learn how to slide, protect yourself. You won't get hurt, and you live to play another day. Ocean, little quick pitch. Gain of 3.
It's days like this offensively that I can tell you from personal experience, they are a lot of fun. Of course, I can also tell you from personal experience, days like this, when they aren't going well, like for FIU, this game seems like it lasts 5 hours, 6 hours. It just won't end.
K.D. Hutchinson on the carry, or the reception. Darius Ocean. That'll be the final play of the third quarter. As far as that is believed for FIU, just 3 quarters have been played. Austin Reed, a day to remember for the Hilltoppers. Fourth quarter coming up. All right, let's take a look at the Serpro first responder. How about Darius Ocean getting in for the first time in his college career, and the connection to Easton Messer for the big score. Getting all dapped up. Absolutely.
That's a heck of a response.
Well done, Randy Cross. You are sponsor savvy.
Hey now.
Ocean continues at quarterback. Red shirt freshman from Raleigh, North Carolina. Left-hander. Do you have to flip an offense for a left-handed quarterback?
Oh, no.
Okay. Steps up in the pocket trying to get out, but does not. And he gets taken to the ground. And that head slams to the turf.
It's different for a center, though, by the way. Because if you're snapping to a left-hander, the laces have to start in a different place. And if you're long snapping or doing the little shotgun snap, the laces have to start in a different place, because you want to give him a chance to get the laces when he catches it. And you actually can snap a ball to a quarterback so that he always gets the laces to grab, throw.
Although in this offense, it doesn't make a difference.
Matter.
DJ Kinsler on that tackle, so a rare appearance. The punter is Tom Ellard.
Might have ran out of time.
Give him some more space. And that'll be Tyrese Chambers.
Infraction. Offense, number 40. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So they'll move him 5 yards back. As a long snapper, Zach Lassiter.
That's usually a snapping infraction, just FYI. It's usually because the guy at center will pick it up and then snap it. It's moving it like that, doing an extra motion before you actually move the ball.
From the 20, Tom Ellard with the kick now. Tyrese Chambers is back for FIU. Calls the fair catch at the 42-yard line. One of the rare touches for Chambers today. 59-0 right now is Western Kentucky over FIU. The last time that Western Kentucky topped the 60-point mark was November 26, 2016 against Marshall.
Yeah, frustrating day for Tyrese Chambers and company on the offensive side. But like we said, Tyson Summers, the defensive coordinator at Western, just said, that guy ain't beating me. You got to find somebody else, and they didn't have an answer.
Another quarterback change for FIU as Hayden Carlson back in the lineup and delivers the shot. As Bryson Washington makes the tackle. But Josiah Meeman on the catch.
There's Tyson Summers right there. Loves him some bear defense. Gave us a little tutorial on Paul Pasqualoni, the old Syracuse coach, and the derivations of the bear defense.
FIU forward pass. This is Wilson to the 45.
Who am I to argue with, he or Paul?
You would not,
though. Given the opportunity, I probably would.
What did he tell us a couple of weeks ago? He gets to the office about an hour and a half, 2 hours early, so no one can bother him. No phone calls, nothing. Let me sit here with my coffee.
Yep.
And look at my defense. There's a fumble, and that's a pickup. We're going the other way for the Hilltoppers. And just like that, they have crested the 60-point mark as Aaron Key, the linebacker, picks up the loose ball, goes the other way for the touchdown. So the defense, opportunistic. Another turnover, and Western Kentucky 65-0.
The offense is flawless. The defense is leading the country in turnovers and has produced another couple or so today. This was not forced. This is one they just took advantage of. The snap bounces off the quarterback's hands, goes to the ground, pops back up, and it pops up perfectly into the hands.
And look at David Yost. He's like, you've got to be kidding me. I'll tell you what, it rarely happens that way where it bounces right up into you, but when it does, your eyes get big. You think how fortunate you are, and that was in stride, and he was gone. Aaron Key on the touchdown. So they've had a couple touchdowns this year. Had a pick six from Upton.
Well, sometimes you're the dog, and sometimes you're the fire hydrant.
I have nothing left after that. 66-0, Western Kentucky.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Ryan, a leader in global tax services and software solutions. By Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve. And by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
66-0, Western Kentucky. Big Red shaking his groove thing. And they are doing something right now against FIU. We mentioned it earlier. FIU, the third youngest team in the country. So they're taking their lumps. That ball stays in bounds and picked up and fumbled out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Nothing going right for FIU. As Lexington Joseph thought that ball was going to the end zone, but a little backspin,
lapse,
wedge.
A lapse in concentration, 1,000%. It's a teachable moment for Coach McIntyre and his entire staff. You get in this situation.
And David Yost, the OC, looks on, and there'll be some heavy counseling this week. Grayson James back at quarterback. Joseph in the backfield. James will find Joseph on the right flat. Knocked out of bounds, and the helmet comes off.
James pass complete to number 8.
The Hilltopper will have to leave the field.
He'll leave the field. And it'll be 2nd and 8. Darius Thomas with his helmet off. There's a pass to the left of James. Cuts upside.
That was interesting. He got right up to the line of scrimmage with that ball just about on the line of scrimmage before he threw it.
B.J. Wagner on the stop. James on the completion to Joshua Simon. Joseph breaks one, breaks two, and crosses And he is close to a first down. That's a heck of a run from Lexington Joseph. Rome Weber on the stop.
They're going to say first down. That was maybe 5 broken tackles, and all up in the middle of the defense, too. So the lack of concentration only doesn't cut one way. When you get in games like this, it's easy on both sides to have a lapse.
1st and 10 from the 31. James keeps it himself, goes right, and out of bounds is Joshua Simon. So Grayson James now beginning to get his own groove. 2nd and 7 from the 34. James gonna go up top, and that's just a misread, and that was almost picked off. Well, he was looking for Jacoby Hewitt, but Kendrick Simpkins back there almost had the pick and the 3rd turnover of the day for Western Kentucky.
He thought Jacoby Hewitt was going up the seam. He threw it up the seam, and Hewitt went across the field. Again, it's a matter of concentration and execution.
Got a bunch of new players in this ball game. Nate Jefferson is now number 6 for FIU. He's in the slot. James across the middle, completion up to the 46-yard line. Dean Patterson on the catch for FIU. Caleb Oliver with the tackle.
Yeah, quite a few of the regular Hilltoppers on defense still in there.
Caleb Oliver last week had a little unsportsmanlike conduct, and there's James to the left. Jefferson struggling, get to the 50. Oliver last week against Indiana had a little unsportsmanlike conduct, and they took him out for a quarter. He said, even the players on that defense said, get him out of here for now, let him cool his jets, and we'll bring him back in. That's exactly what they did, and he came back and played a really good football.
Said, I told him, when you calm down for 10 minutes, you're going to go back in, but not until you calm down for 10 minutes.
2nd and 5. Short gain from Keyshawn Owens, redshirt freshman from Miami, Florida. As now both teams now emptying their rosters. Bryson Washington on the tackle for Western Kentucky. 3rd and 5 with 9:45 to go here.
Can they continue this drive? Can it be that elusive, consistent, methodical drive they've been looking for all day?
James looking up top. And that is just flat out dropped. That's Rivaldo Fairweather, the big tight end. Had a first down, had the ball in his hands, but couldn't keep it.
Well, we can't say it was a bad pass, because that ball was put right there where it should have been caught.
Matthew Flint on the coverage. And so FIU will punt in the form of Dayton Montiel, whose leg will be very, very sore come tomorrow, because this is punt number 9 for Montiel. Montiel, and Malachi Corley is back for the Toppers. He'll catch it just outside the 15-yard line, and that is where Western Kentucky will start with a 66-0 lead. 9:30 to go here from Bowling Green. Darius Ocean back on offense. November 28th, 2014, Jeff Brom and Western Kentucky visited 11-0 and 24th ranked Marshall in a crucial Conference USA showdown. Hilltoppers quarterback Brandon Dowdy threw for a CSGUSA record 8 touchdowns, 34 of 50 for 491. And that 2-point conversion in overtime to Willie McNeil clinched the upset for the visiting Hilltoppers, a 67-66 overtime win for Western Kentucky, the highest scoring game in Conference USA history. Right now, they're at 66 points. As you take a look at the numbers, whoever did that game, by the way, broadcast it, must not have had a voice for like 4 days.
67-66. So just think about that. 143 points. That was nuts.
Hold on, let me do the math. Hold on. I went to Maryland.
No, 133 points.
There we go. See?
Yeah.
UCLA.
I went to public school too.
Where are you? UCLA. What do you expect? You belong with the Big Ten. Darius Ocean.
Got a Panther down.
On the incompletion, we got a FIU player down on the field grabbing that right leg. And that is never good. He is grabbing that knee.
Yeah, we talked about how young FIU is. They also have had a pretty good spate of injuries. Little indecision on who exactly is their best 5 guys up front, but you got one down right now.
DJ Kinsler on the field as Mike McIntyre and crew look on. We're coming back after this. Presented by the Home Depot, where it is 66-0. Western Kentucky one away from tying the most points they have been scored in the Conference USA. As you take a look at DJ Kinsler, barely putting no weight on that right leg. The freshman from Miami, Florida. 9:24 to go, and that did not look good. 2nd and 10 now for Western Kentucky. Darius Ocean at quarterback. The left-hander. Little play action. Steps up. He's going to go across the field. And that one picked off. Defense. That's an interception.
Yeah, that's the kind of play that Jovan DeWatt talks about his defense has to make more of.
Dorian Hall on the pick.
Yeah, underthrow. Play it right, just perfectly defensively.
It's late.
One of my favorite quotes. He talked about Western Kentucky's offense. Jovan DeWatt said, they make the little guys do big guy things, and the big guys do little guy things. That's why they're so effective.
Right.
Otherwise, they're really good at mismatch.
Well, that's a freshman mistake from Darius Ocean.
Oh, yeah.
He had a guy, but just threw it late. And here comes FIU. And they go nowhere. In the person of Keyshawn Owens, the redshirt freshman from Miami, Florida. Bryson Washington on the stop for the Hilltoppers. 2nd and 11, loss of 1. Straight drop across the middle, and no flag on the play, and there it comes late. So flag comes late as Rome Weber is going to be called for the pass interference.
They're going to call that a pass interference from behind. It looked like he ran right through the receiver's arms to get to the ball. He's got every right to go for the ball too, you know.
I do know. And I'm sure Rome Weber appreciates your support. Oh, there you go.
Wide open.
Good call by Randy Cross.
Yeah, always remember that when you see a pass and just say, hey, there was contact. Well, you know, the defensive guys kind of got a right to the ball too. He's got every bit as much of a right to get at that ball as the offensive guy does.
It was intended for Jay Berry Jr. Weber on the nice coverage. 3rd and 13. Quick pitch across the middle. Hit and caught. Ross Fournier goes down. Down at the 50-yard line. Does not get the first down, but he is looking for some wind right now.
Yeah.
Rome Weber, back-to-back plays.
That was perfectly clean, perfectly legit. He's up and exposed. There was no head involved in that hit. It was shoulder. And now the shoulder went right into the midsection. And midsection meets shoulder. You could almost see the air go out as the shoulder went in.
He's hit so hard that Ross Fournier has yet to release the football. He's on the ground with that football. And look, puts his hand up. He's got the ball. It's a good catch. He'll come to the sideline. Freshman. Well, that's Windermere, Florida.
Every defensive back will tell you, you get a wide receiver laid out like that and exposed, that's mission number 1. Knock the ball loose. Separate the receiver from the ball. Great hit, just couldn't separate the receiver.
He's a tough nut. They have a loafs category in practice. If you loaf during practice, you get a loaf. Ross Fournier is the only guy in spring practice who never got a loaf. They love his character.
Wheat or rye?
Wheat or rye?
Loaf.
I hear you. 4th and 6. Don't talk about food right now. 4th and 6 to give. Up the middle. Keyshawn Owens won't get the first down. And it'll be Western Kentucky ball. 8:21 to go from Bowling Green, Kentucky. Western Kentucky in a rout right now, 66-0. They'll be on offense when we come back on the CBS Sports Network. San Jose State going head-to-head against Western Michigan at 10:30 Eastern. Catch all the action right here on CBS Sports Network. Calling that Rebels and Aggies game up next, Chris Lewis and Utah State former standout Robert Turbin. Turbin going back to where it all started for him. He played at Utah State from 2007 to 2011. In 2011, Robert set the single-season rushing record for Utah State with 19 rushing touchdowns, 38 career games. He rushed for 3,300 yards and 51 touchdowns. Robert, good luck tonight. Always good to go home again. Except when I do, the locks are changed.
He was a heck of a powerful running back. I do remember that.
All right, so there's Ocean now on a 1st and 10. He'll keep throwing. Left side, got a man. A collision at the 18, down inside the 15-yard line.
First down, the clock will stop while they mark the ball, and then they'll keep running.
K.D. Hutchinson on the grab, his second of the afternoon. So despite the fact they're up 66-0.
What are you supposed to do? Not run your offense? I mean, this is what they do. They're doing it with different people. It's not their fault. It's just effective.
You get Darius Ocean into that offense. Let's make him run the plays.
Well, I think it's fantastic. It gives Tyson Helton and the Hilltoppers a look at tomorrow, a look over the edge.
1st and 10 from the 15. Ocean.
Remember, the last two quarterbacks were transfers. Maybe they've got tomorrow's quarterback
Timeout,
here already.
Western Kentucky. First charge timeout of the half.
Hilltoppers take a timeout. 1st and 10 from the 15 with 7:18 to go. Can Ocean put him in?
Smile Direct Club. These are Smile Direct Club aligners. They're laser cut for comfort to gently straighten teeth under a doctor's direction. They can turn a smile like this into a smile like this in as little as 4 to 6 months for less than $3 a day. So choose comfortable. Choose fast. Choose affordable. Choose smile. See how much insurance will cover at SmileDirectClub.com.
Back here in Kentucky, they're playing Earth, Wind, and Fire on the big board. Of course, just a few days ago, it was the 21st of September, if you remember.
I see what you did there.
Did you?
Yeah.
Good to see you're paying attention here. The sun shining down, and I believe both my retinas.
I mean, that's my era. That's back when I was cool. It was a brief period.
You're not cool now?
Oh, no.
Oh, I think you're cool.
I'm a grandfather. Grandfathers are not cool.
Oh, grandfather. You kidding me? I'm not one yet, but it's coming at some point, they tell me. 1st and 10 from the 15. That's a botched snap, and Ocean just falls on it at the 31-yard line. Not what you want if you're Ben Arbuckle.
And that wasn't even close.
No.
That snap was a good 3-4 feet over the head of the quarterback. Only thing that could have made that worse if it were rolled, that ball rolls funny to start with. If it had started rolling end over end like we've seen some of these punts.
Well, that's Wyatt Anderson on the center position now. Freshman.
2nd and 25.
From Newman, Georgia, getting his action. That snap is good. Ocean crossed the body, looking deep into the end zone. No call. Look at Ocean. Well, I tell you what, that's almost helmet to helmet there.
It's close, unnecessary. But it's good aggressive defense because they didn't call it.
Shaquem Pace on the hit on Ocean. So now 3rd and 25 for Darius Ocean.
That snap, this offense just a little off. Can they get their timing back?
They've changed center since the bad snap now. David Ndukwe. We'll check that. Wyatt Anderson now back in at center. Out of the shotgun is Ocean. Ocean's going to take it himself. He's got some room. A little stutter step. And takes his man 2 yards forward to the 20-yard line. So it'll be 4th down. And we'll see what Tyson Helton does here. Keep the offense on the field. Looks like he will.
Got himself an extra tight end coming in the game. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, and a running back.
Bunch of new bodies in there. Number 23, Kendall Abdul-Rahman at the bottom of your screen. Ocean.
Tight ends don't mean it's a run, though.
Out of the gun. And Ocean with a pump. And just stumbles down. Trying to get that first down. Puts his arm out, which is dangerous. And he'll get down to the 18-yard line.
It was there. It was there for Ocean. If he could have kept his feet. I think his eyes affected his feet. He thought there was a lot of green grass over there to his right. He wanted to get over there.
You could tell he wanted. Look at this right here. Just kind of gets chipped up on his van. He clips David Ndukwe's left foot.
Sure, blame it on the lineman.
Well,
it's a skill player. One of the skills is keeping your feet.
5:39 to go. Here comes FIU. Grayson James in at quarterback. A completion to the outside. And Nate Jefferson on the catch. He's got a couple so far today for FIU. Redshirt sophomore from Longwood, Florida. Jefferson getting some major playing time here in the second half. James again, the swing right. Knocked out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Kajan Owens.
Pretty wild day today. What you saying, college football? Some of these scores we've seen. I mean, the close games. Georgia got played pretty close by Kent State earlier. Wake Forest almost took out Clemson. Yeah. Clemson had to go to overtime with them.
Not close here. 2nd and 4. Owens again, right side, looking for some room. Can't find any. And he goes down at the 36-yard line. If you're wondering, FIU has run 5 plays in Western Kentucky territory. The deepest they got was the 45. Meantime, Western Kentucky's got 8 touchdowns. James.
Yeah, that's one of the formulas for success. You keep the other guy out of your side of the 50. Man.
Tyson Summers, the defensive coordinator, has to be happy with what his defense did today.
Yeah, you got to be happy. And on the other side, honestly, you know, you've just got to look at it. If you're David Yost or you're Mike McIntyre, we've got a lot of young players. We need some guys that can make plays. I mean, we've got one. Everybody knows it, though, Tyrese Chambers. So outside of him, you need some other guys to step up and make some of those big plays. Make things a little bit easier on your really great players.
Chambers just 1 catch for 17 yards today. He came in leading the conference in 9 catches a game. With just 1 today. So the frustration at an all-time high for Chambers, but a learning lesson for the Panthers. Western Kentucky will move to 3-1 on the season.
I mean, speaking of learning lessons, you look at the other side now. Tyson Helton and Western is going to get the ball back. This is a great opportunity for the Hilltoppers offense, some of these backup players, to put a consistent drive together. You've seen the last couple times they've had the ball, there have been bad snaps. There have been some questionable decisions. There's been a little inaccuracy.
Oh, another new quarterback for Western Kentucky. That is Caden Veldkamp, number 10, the freshman from Bowling Green, Kentucky. On the handoff, up to the 34-yard line. And so Western Kentucky continues to churn out yards. Andrew Vollmer on the tackle. LT Sanders, the running back, with a big chunk of yardage.
That's when you know you've developed a good line, you've developed a good offense, when you can keep changing personnel and the results don't change.
Veldkamp will throw now out to the outside, and a completion. That's Denzel Aline on the catch. It'll be second.
Another sure trait we see from the current quarterback. Ball's in his hands briefly, but spun right out of there.
South Warren nearby, Bowling Green, Kentucky. Caden Veldkamp with his first action. Veldkamp will throw again, this time Into that left side, gets a couple extra yards. Does K.D. Hutchinson. Veldkamp in high school last year was a state champion. He threw 35 touchdown passes and rushed for 7 more. His father Jason is the strength and conditioning coach here at Western Kentucky. And quickly for a first down is L.T. Sanders.
Boy, did Sanders cover some ground in a flash. There was nobody over there, nobody defensively to even get in his way to try to stop him until he got about 15 yards down the field.
Untouched until Joe Perkins got him.
Beautiful concept, better execution.
.220 to go. Veldkamp under center, in the shotgun. 1st and 10 from the 41 of FIU. Quick toss right side. Great hands in the catch from K.D. Hutchinson. Boy, he picked that one up almost off the turf and then proceeds to get 5 more yards.
Yeah, it was kind of hard from our angle to even see how that ball didn't hit the ground. It looked like it was thrown at his socks, but it was thrown pretty hard, so it never got above his socks or below his socks.
Brian Blades on the tackle. 2nd and 1. Clock running at 1:50.
In case you're curious, this is the Western Kentucky version of killing the clock, kind of the 4-minute offense. Just throw short passes, keep the receivers in bounds.
Veldkamp out of the shotgun. Oh, K.D. Hutchinson tried to stay in bounds. There's Austin Reed. Had himself a heck of a day here. He played the better part of a half and a couple of series and did the job. Boy, did he ever. And you can see to his left is Kim Helton, the former great coach and the father of the head coach here. Tyson has a flag on the field. So Wes Dorsey called for the foul.
Well, some coaches
never leaves them.
They stop paying him, but they keep coaching because it involves his kids at this point.
He's an analyst for his son's team. Also his other son Clay, who's the head coach at Georgia Southern. Left side, got some room, up to the races, and a touchdown. L.T. Sanders on the score. And that is 72 points, and that will be the most points scored by a Conference USA squad.
And in case you're curious, that is not running up the score. That's kind of them being them, running their offense, and you get every opportunity to make a tackle. You want to prevent 72 points from being up there? How about getting in the way?
How about that highlight for L.T. Sanders, who was a senior last year in high school.
Got some good sudden quickness.
That's what they like here. The kick is up and good, and it's 73-0 here in Bowling Green. The Hilltoppers cruising with 1:20 to go. Kentucky on the kick and the touchback. It'll be FIU ball, 1st and 10 from their 25 with 1:20 to go. As you take a look at Caden Veldkamp, freshman getting his first action out of Bowling Green, Kentucky, leads his team on a score, and there is number 21, L.T. Sanders, with his first score. So 2 guys who were in high school last year getting some highlights here.
Well, that's great stuff. Great stuff for the backups. Like at this point, they're the backups and the backups.
Hayden Carlson in once again at quarterback for FIU. Owens on the carry, he gets nothing. 73 points today is the most that Western Kentucky has scored since they moved up to the FBS, and the record is, their program record is 87 back in 2007.
How many tackles for loss have we seen in the FIU backfield for this Western Kentucky defense? It's been repetitive. I'd put it over under at about 6 or 7.
Dominic Bradshaw on the tackle as we wind things down here from Western Kentucky. A huge win, 73 points scored, and that defense throws a shutout for Tyson Summers. Tyson helping now his team, the Toppers, move to 3-1 on the season. Next up for them is a visit to Troy. Excuse me, they're going to host Troy here on October 1st, and that is your final. 73-0 Western Kentucky. For Randy Cross and our entire crew, I'm Chick Hernandez. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Right now, we're going to Logan, Utah. Chris Lewis, Robert Turple.